Aluminum.
Tell me if there is.
15,000 miles an hour.
I mean, you know as well as I do that you can make ballistics out of a solid hardcore plastic.
Yeah.
So
That
bad.
kinetic energy, bro.
Yeah. That's a lot of kinetic energy.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
For plastic into aluminum to make that kind of.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the mics are hot.
Well,
No, they're
I'm
not.
hot. I don't know about the mics, but didn't even get a laugh from the peanut gallery on that one.
I was gonna say, was that a smart ass comment or what?
What's that, dear?
Your comment, was it a smart ass comment or what?
No, he said
I was
mics were hot. I said I'm hot. I don't the mics.
We're good.
I mean, you could even buy a courtesy laugh on that one. Hey, after we do an opening, I want to give a shout out to a friend of the show and a friend of mine that's celebrating 5 years of sobriety.
Hey.
Yay. That's awesome.
Yeah,
You got it.
She just did it this weekend, and she has a right to be pretty proud of herself. It almost killed her, man. She's younger than us, and she ended up in the hospital. All that bad stuff. Anyway. Oh, it's Ed Olson's wife,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rachel?
Rachel.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love Rachel.
Yeah.
She's the very first person in my life to ask for my autograph.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a kick in the pants.
I'm like, why? She's like, I love you. It's adorable.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's so weird.
Ed-
I've had it happen here. People come in and buy a bottle. Will you sign my bottle?
That's
Like,
so cool. That's cool.
What?
It's because
Well,
they all know
that's
you're an
the thing.
outlaw.
It's still
Tom.
weird.
And you're quasi semi-famous.
No, what?
I don't know what quasi meant in that algorithm, but it sounded funny.
Yeah, it works.
Look at this, Tom. You ever seen one of these?
It's a little slow, isn't it?
Original. Taken out of the ground by
Oh my
archaeologists.
god. All I smell is cologne right now.
Tom.
Amber made me put it on.
You probably need
Mics are
it.
so hot.
I needed
What?
a shower before I came
Your
into
mic
the
is
show.
hot,
That's
Kevin.
all.
My mic is not hot.
I can hear everything on
Maybe it's one of these
YouTube,
mics. Any of the
Facebook.
others hot?
No. That's music.
Yeah.
No?
None of those mics are hot. That's weird.
This is awesome.
Maybe
What is
it's
this,
the computer picking it up.
No, all the mics are off.
Is this PMJ?
I don't know what it is. It's some AI.
It's got to
Oh,
be.
it's okay.
It's got to be AI so we can avoid copyright issues. But
It's
Even
not
though we
working.
well, we're getting nailed with them because you're using stuff with the same words.
We're not gonna get nailed with it.
We got
Yeah, we
6
are.
times. We got 6 violations last week.
Yeah, but this is AI. I think we'll be okay. I gotta try and we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see if we get a
fine with it.
violation.
I'm fine with it. You know, you might as well push the boundaries and see what you can get away with.
How are we getting anything on the microphones? All these mics are muted. The only thing unmuted is the music channel.
Does your phone have a microphone on it?
I'm not doing it with
You're
it.
just playing music, right?
Yeah.
Oh, your phone is listening to us?
Probably.
Yeah.
No, that mic's off. Too. All of them are.
We have no music. It's just us.
What?
It's just us talking.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, hold on.
You should sing for him, Tom.
Oh no, no one wants to hear me
Come
sing.
on.
People pay me to not sing.
Paul, can you
Come
sing?
on, honey.
Yes.
Kevin can sing.
I can sing. I just don't.
Lori can sing.
No.
Tom
I'm just joking.
Tom does not sing.
Oh, all right, go.
My musical efforts are guitar and bass, and I'm not very good at that either. So
I don't have any musical talents either.
It's green and the girls are pretty. So far away, so far away. So far away, so far away. Captain America's been torn apart now. He's a court jester with a broken heart. He said, turn me around and take me back to the start. I must be losing my mind. Are you blind? I've seen it all a million times. Hey, take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh,
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network. OutlawRadioNetwork.com.
This country can't be knocked out with one punch. We get right back up again, and when we do, the world's going to hear the roar of our engines.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
You do your work, and we will do our best.
Republic. I like the sentiment of it. It means people can live free, talk free, go or come, buy or sell, be drunk or sober, however they choose.
Are you ready to be who you are?
No poetry, just a straight answer.
The government has deliberately sought to deceive the United States by false statements and expressions of hope for continued peace.
We are men of the hood, marrying now at your expense.
But there's no both sides anymore. They're just trying to wreck our goddamn country. It's time for you younger guys to take over it.
You were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
If you guys don't start thinking as men, we're gonna have a lousy country.
For the crimes of incitement to cause unrest, I declare to be an outlaw.
All right, everybody, it is the Outlaw Radio Network. It is the 26th of July, 2026. Thanks for checking out the show. We are live from the Black Ring Spirit Studios. So thanks to all of you for checking it out. K-Dog, Paul, Beeler, Tom, and a cast of millions. The CEO is off camera, but making sure we don't get fined by anybody tonight.
She's got the hardest job of everybody.
I know. She has to try to keep us reined in.
Fined by who?
I don't know. There's some government entity that's going to care, right?
Isn't deregulation great?
Yeah, I knew. Well, we made it 36 seconds before Tom's libertarianness came out. We want to thank our sponsors really quick. Just to remember to thank the people that make this show happen, including Destination Highway 420 on Hollis Street in East Bremerton, right across the street from the Cloverleaf. Stop in and say hi to them for a full selection, Tom, of what?
Let's see here. Some flour, some edibles, some distillates. What?
No, keep going. I keep forgetting all these things. So that's why I asked you to do it.
That's why
right
he threw
now.
it to you, Tom, because he was like, I don't
They have
remember.
popsicles. They have sodas. They have
really. Cannabis infused. Yeah.
They have sorbet. They have everything to cool you down and take care of all of your stony needs.
And most importantly, really good customer service. They're going to help you find the stuff you need with the best service every time you come in. So stop by and visit our friends. Destination Highway 420 on Hollis Street in East Bremerton. Thanks to Tom and Black Ring Spirits for being the host of the show every week, letting us tear up his tasting room and do the show. Thanks to Evergreen Grace Cleaning Company. They can do residential, they can do commercial, they can do anything.
She's gonna be doing a job site clean out for me here soon.
Is she?
Yeah.
Find them on Facebook, Evergreen Grace Cleaning. Thanks to Kitsap Paintball, where if you'd like to shoot your boss in the privates, Kitsap Paintball is the best place to do it. It's legal and it's encouraged.
You know how much that hurts?
I don't know.
Yeah, you want to wear a cup when you play paintball.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But they do have a Facebook page. Find out more. It's a great listen. Honestly, it's a great place for corporate team building. Bring your whole work crew out there. Just spend some time team building, shooting people with paintballs.
Hold on.
It'd be great.
Tom, I've been playing since 1989. I've never once got shut in the nuts. So how do you play?
When I was on the tournament circuit in my 20s, there was a guy I knew who had taken a shot to the testicles.
Oh, you didn't get that?
No, I did not. Yeah, but I knew a guy who did, and it ruptured a testicle. I mean, he had some medical.
This is a funny, cute idea. Keep your balls behind an inanimate object to protect them.
I seriously think there's nothing you haven't done in your lifetime. Seriously, I just keep learning more and more about you.
What?
Every week.
What?
Well, you know, Tom
I
used to
feel
be
like
a male
you've done
stripper
like
too.
a gazillion things, and you have done so many things, and I'm so far behind.
I like to do stuff.
Did you know? Hold on. Did you know that Tom used to be a male stripper?
You should have seen him in that G-string when he was younger.
Because he started the company, it was called Commondales, and then this guy named Chip bought him out, and it became Chippendales. So,
Oh, yeah, cool.
also thanks to Kitsap Great Escape, the only escape room in Silverdale, the best escape room in Kitsap County. Stop in and check them out. 4 rooms to serve you. They had a really cool mini escape room experience at Whaling Days, which I'll talk about in a second. But check them out, kitsapgreatescape.com. Tell them Outlaw sent you. And am I forgetting any sponsors?
Yeah, admin a la carte.
Admin a la carte.
Oh,
Admin a la
I
carte.
forget it every single week. Admin a la carte for all the back end stuff your website needs, stuff that I don't even understand because I'm a doofus. Admin a la carte, admin-a-la-carte.com. Tell Andy hello.
And you get a little bit of a pass, right? But it's also a testament to what Andy can do.
Yeah,
so
it's
she doesn't
amazing.
need to be here to help us.
Yeah,
And
you
so-
might hate this show. You might be listening to this show right now and you hate us, but we're a professional outlet in part because of what Admin a la carte does for us. So
100%, bro.
yeah.
So
we're
funny-
Do you hate us? Do you think we're right wing hate speech? We'll hear from you.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
Funny anecdote, because you were talking about our sponsor, Highway 420. And
Destination Highway 420.
Yes. So, you know, I've been open as I've suffered with a severe case of restless leg syndrome. So the other night, we had one of our neighbors. She had made some Rice Krispie treats with butter.
Yeah.
With the infused butter. And yeah, well, I thought it's a freaking Rice Krispie treat.
How many did you eat?
And I go to bed, and Amber had warned me. She's like, "You might not want to eat that whole thing, right?"
Oh my
Because I had asked her, I was like, "Do you measure? You have any? I'm a lightweight. Do you have any way to measure this?" And then I'm laying there with Amber and I are just watching CSI, right? And she's like, "You feeling anything yet from that?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine." Amber passes out. She's laying next to me. She's snoring. It's all good. Everything's totally copacetic. It wasn't loud. It wasn't that loud. It wasn't that bad. But the point is within about a half an hour of the time she falls asleep, I had to tell my son, "Hey, I'm suffering with a bad case of RLS tonight, so you're going to see me walking around the house a lot." Oh yeah, it was more like stumbling, bumbling around the outside of the house for like 3 hours as the paranoia kicked in, and I'm just like, "Oh my God. My mouth is so dry. I think my throat is. Listen, go buy your stuff at Destination Highway 420, so you know your dosage. I'm just saying.
Seriously, that's hilarious.
Don't take it from your neighbor who handmade it. Just
Good stuff.
not a good idea.
And then listen, one last thing.
Just real quick, I was going to tell you at Destination Highway 420, you can get this stuff that's like a dragon cream. It's called and you rub it on it, and it helps. My daughter has it.
Yeah. On the RLS, it's a balm that you can just rub on and
it's like a lotion. You just rub it on.
Yeah,
it helps
no,
her so much.
I've used a few of those on banged up joints and stuff. No,
is it just a CBD?
No.
It has the THC, so it actually works.
Well, I don't think it really
if
it doesn't
you're a
make you
regular-
stoned or anything.
No, but that's good, 'cause
it
not
hits
what I
you
was
where the
looking for.
pain is. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I'll have to go down there and pick some of that up. Okay.
All right, really quick too, before we get to the topic at hand that everybody wants us to talk about, we'll get to that in a second. I do want to give props and shout outs to the Whaling Days folks. Whaling Days this weekend was a blast. If you had a chance to get down to Whaling Days, check it out. It was really great. Now, there were a couple hiccups. They had contracted out with a carnival company to bring some rides in, including a carousel. The carnival company never showed up.
Oh no!
That was not Whaling Days' fault. According to the carnival company, they had a mechanical breakdown somewhere, and they couldn't make it.
So, translation: a truck blew a brake line, and they just didn't show up.
Or something. Yeah, I don't know. But otherwise, listen, the bands were great. The atmosphere was outstanding. The MC was top notch.
Don't do it, dude. We hear this from you.
But in all honesty, it was great. It was a really good weekend. If you had a chance to come check it out, I hope you did. If you didn't, come out next year. The thing I like about Whaling Days is that it's really set up for people to come down and not spend a dime if they don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you just want to come down and check out the bands, you bring your folding chair and you go sit down and check out the bands. If you want to buy food or beer, whatever, of course it's going to cost more. You're at a festival, but you don't have to spend a dime to come down there, which I think is really cool. So shout out to Brenda and Gus and all the folks that are down there that put that on together. I think it's a
headliner this year.
So we had different headliners. Like, what was it? I keep forgetting his name.
Joel Gibson Jr.
Joel Gibson Jr. was there today. I think he's the biggest name act that they had this year, and they had him on Sunday afternoon. Last night they had a group called 13 Till Midnight, which was a Taylor Swift cover band. I thought it was going to be horrible. They were really good. I mean, they were really, really, really good.
That would have been like Hi, we're a Beatles cover band opening for the Beatles. It's like just weird to see a cover band of somebody who's still fresh and in the news every day.
But it was great. It was a lot of fun. And then I don't remember who the last group was that performed on Friday night right before the fireworks show, but they were really good. So there weren't any. I'm going to be honest. There's usually one band a year at Whaling Days that I'm like, I'm not really sure that they were up to this level, right? Like playing a festival in Silverdale can be a low bar, and I think they were below the bar. There were no bands this year that I thought shouldn't have been there.
Oh, that's good.
It was really good this year.
That's
Gus
good.
did it. I think Gus is the guy that does all the bookings for the bands. He did a great job.
Is he still involved? I thought his wife took over, but
no. She has her own. Sunny has her own promotional event thing, but I think they do the fair. Gus does Whaling Days.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
I should have said ex-wife.
Ex-wife, yeah, his
my
ex-wife.
apologies.
But-
Can I put a say
No,
something special
I want you to do this because we love her.
I
by the
want
way, on the
to
show.
give a big shout out to one of the patrons and listeners to the show, Rachel. Congratulations on 5 years of sobriety. That is absolutely bad to the bone.
So proud of you, my friend.
Good for you. Good for you.
So proud of you.
Yeah, we love you. Yeah, thanks for supporting the show, Rachel. All right, we got to get to the elephant in the room, and no, I'm not referring to Tara Simmons as an elephant. Let's not get your panties in a bunch.
Yeah, don't twist that.
Yeah, don't twist that up. We need to talk about the elephant in the room. So last Sunday, Daria Elgin came on the show.
Okay, now he says his name right.
I've only been practicing it all week because I've been fielding 8,000 phone calls. Daria Elgin came on the show last week, and towards the beginning of the interview, oh crap! Hold on, I'm going to research this, John. Thank you for the heads up. John says there's breaking news about multiple people shot at Seattle Center, so we'll do some research to get that in a little bit.
Okay,
it's hard to research when you do a show.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Keep talking.
So Daria was on the show last week, and one of the first questions that I asked Daria was, and we never want to make a candidate talk about their opponent,
right?
But I thought it was a valid question, which is, why are you as a Democrat running against Tara, who's a Democrat and the incumbent? And Beeler at that point chose to respond with a choice 4-letter word, see you next Tuesday. I think Daria took a moment to think about how to respond, which I think is what anybody should do. Daria asked that we not go down that path again. We didn't go down that path again. I'm going to say a couple of things from my point of view.
Before you get to that, let me verify what he said. Yes, there was a mass shooting. They don't have any information here on number of casualties, but it was at the Bite of Seattle.
Oh my God. Oh my God. My kid was going to go to Seattle today. I am so glad they didn't go.
Man, that's bad juju.
Oh.
Okay. We'll monitor this, let you guys know what we find out. So I'm going to speak a kind of an overhead view for the show. And I'm not trouncing on anybody's personal independent views, and I'm not meaning to speak for anybody, but for whatever reason, I consider myself the mouthpiece of the show, and for whatever reason, I've only been thinking about this for the last 7 days. So I'm going to say a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to do is, and Beeler already did it. She apologized to Daria in an online post. And I think on the show, we can apologize to Daria as well. Daria didn't know that was coming. It was not a fair position to put him in, regardless of our personal opinions of Tara.
I don't think Beeler knew it was coming.
No, I don't think she did. No, I listen, none of this was pre-planned, none of it, right? So to Daria, I think as a show, we can apologize honestly and say that's never a position we want to put a candidate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so with that in mind, that's that. Now, I've had a lot of people ask if the show's going to apologize to Tara. And I'm going to say this right now, and the answer to that is no. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this show is not a show as in a corporate banner where everybody is under one like umbrella of somebody who oversees and dictates what the content of the show is. If you want that, go to CNN, go to ESPN, go to Disney. That's not what we do. We're a band of independent contractors that have all of our own opinions. I wouldn't have used that word. Paul wouldn't have used that word. Tom wouldn't have used that word. Beeler chose to use that word. Beeler will stand by what she said and as an adult, and that's what she's going to do. If Beeler feels like she needs to make an apology to Tara, then that's Beeler's call to make, and I'm not going to dictate that. I'm not going to dictate that to her. Nobody else is going to tell her what she can or can't say. Yeah. In fact, the idea that anybody thinks that somebody should be slapping Beeler down and telling her what to say speaks against the entire policy of the Democratic Party, is that no man should be telling a woman what she can or can't say or what she should or shouldn't feel. Yeah. So the idea that Daria was supposed to... Wait, yeah, but women can. The idea that Daria was supposed to stand up and scold her for her opinion really goes against the policies of the Democratic Party anyway, but I digress. we're not going to tell anybody on this show what they can or can't say, and we haven't done that for the last 27 years, and we're not about to start doing that now. So that's point number 2. If there's an apology to be made to Tara, that'll be Beeler's decision because she's the one that made it, and we will back her whichever way that she goes because we believe in the Constitution.
Wait, you mean the First Amendment?
Yeah, you can say what you want
Yes,
to. We're not a government entity.
We believe in freedom of speech.
We believe in freedom of speech, whether you find it offensive or not.
I would like to make a suggestion to the listeners out there, for all of you that had an issue with it. Listen, there's one very simple way to deal with this: file a complaint with the FCC.
Yeah.
Is it deregulating brand?
Third point, and I already shared this on social media, but I want to talk about this a little bit. What Tara's supporters up north and the fine folks of the Paul's Vote for All and whatever whack-a-mole groups on the north end that wants to attribute this to, they've made this a gender war.
That's exactly what they did.
And I think,
and it was my mouth.
I think it is laughable.
It is
It's
laughable.
Absolutely laughable.
It's insanity, Kevin.
I know it's laughable insanity.
It's super laughable.
And by the way, there are so many people commenting, not just on our threads, but on the Bainbridge Island community threads, on the Paul's Vote for All thread, on the North End threads that are all saying the same thing. Oh, nobody said it was a woman that said it.
Exactly.
We didn't know it was a woman that said it. Shocker, guys. Newsflash. It was a chick that said it about another chick. So I don't know. I don't know what
Listen, I really like British TV, okay? Jeez.
So I would like to add that that the idea of it being made a gender war, I think with all due sincerity, it became a gender war the day that Tara found out that Daria was running. Because
very
in her string
true.
of text messages, she didn't just insinuate, she flat out said, you need to run against another man. I'm paraphrasing, but that's the gist of the text that she sent him. So so I think at that point the gender roles were clearly defined by Miss Simmons.
And that's what she does, you guys. She plays the victim
And by the
every
way-
fucking time. It doesn't matter what it is.
And by the way, kids, don't go anywhere. Because in literally 10 minutes, we're going to give you all the data on Tara that you ever needed to know before you go cast your vote. I'm going to speak for me 100% personally right now. I'm not speaking for Paul, Tom, Beeler, Lori, Andy.
All right, hold on. We're going to go get a whiskey.
Paul's eventual wife. I'm not speaking for nobody but me. Tara, you have my undivided attention. You didn't have it before.
Look at that look on his face.
But you have my undivided attention.
He's very serious right
And in 4 weeks, I'm done with my masters. I have nothing but time on my hands. I can only see my girlfriend on the weekends. I got so much free time.
Sorry.
Anyway,
you said it on
All right.
air.
Yeah.
God bless you, Kevin.
Here's the next point. This idea that they're pushing up north, that we are some type of a right-wing hate broadcast. I'm going to point out a couple things, and I pointed this out online, but I'm going to do it again because I think it's really important for those of you that have never heard this show before, that believe the nonsense that they're pushing on the north end, that don't vet your sources and check your facts.
And
before
believe
go
everything you
reshare
read on
things.
Facebook.
So let me remind you of the tons of Democrats that have come on this show. Tara Simmons at least 3 times, twice as a scheduled guest, and one time because she likes the show so much, she was listening to us and called in to have a conversation about something we were talking about. We didn't even solicit it. She was just listening at home in her free time with her emotional support animal and thought, oh, I'd like to call in and talk about this. And so she did.
She was pissed that I was asking questions about her money spending habits.
We'll get to that in a minute. Emily Randall's been on the show. Bremerton Mayor Greg Wheeler has been on the show repeatedly. Former Bainbridge Island Mayor and current council member Ashley Matthews. Former candidate Bryn Felix. Kitsap County Sheriff candidate Brendan Myers. Former commissioner candidate, representative candidate Matt Macklin. Kitsap County Democrat Chair Hanny Baxter multiple times. I'll get back to Hanny in a second. Former state rep Kathy Haig. Former Kitsap County Sheriff Steve Boyer, Kitsap County Commissioner and former State Rep Christine Rolfless, former State Rep Larry Sequist.
Isn't it Rolfs?
Rolfless.
I think it's Rolfs.
Rolfless. Rolfless. I was right.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Right.
Former
Nobody's
Senate,
knocking you.
former Senate candidate Irene Bowling, former Bremerton Mayor candidate Ash Black, community activist and good friend of the show. He said so himself, Doc Blackwell, who, by the way, will be racing in the Derby with us next month. We'll talk about that later.
I love Doc.
Bremerton City Council member and former mayoral candidate Jeff Coughlin, former Bremerton Mayor candidate Marwan Cameron, who loves us and said it online. Go check the receipts.
I love Marwan too.
And former Democrat John Pat Kelly. I attributed him correctly online.
John Patrick Kelly.
Yeah, I attributed him online wrong. By the way, I did Hanny wrong too. I'd like to point out that when I originally posted the note, how many Democrats came out and said, "You forgot us"?
I know, that was
Democrat,
cool.
listen, for those of you on the North End that haven't gotten past your AOL subscription,
Dude.
there are Democrats hand over fist that back this show. We are not a right-wing hate organization. We go harder after Republicans.
Hell yes, we
Randy
do.
Boss, Michelle Caldier.
We're coming after all you corrupt asses. That's what's going to happen.
And nobody's safe. Like literally nobody. But we're a right-wing hate organization. I got a conservative, a Republican, a libertarian, an independent, and a Democrat on this show.
Yep.
But you guys can't handle us having an issue with your most corrupt candidate. And because we go, if they're poor, we don't care what, and her emotional support animal, we're a right-wing hate organization. You guys are out of your ever-loved minds. But that's okay. Because again, we're going to pull out the receipts tonight because we have all the receipts.
You want some whiskey, bud? Because you're getting a little bit amped
Oh,
up.
I'm not even halfway there yet.
I do want to make one small observation.
Yeah, please do.
Just one small one. This whole shall we call it a kerfuffle?
Kerfuffle.
Yes.
I like that word.
Okay, kerfuffle it is.
I can say that in church.
Oh,
You're good.
Pamunga cheese.
Ew.
I'm afraid to look at chat, but I'm going to look at chat in a second.
So this whole kerfuffle came about because of four letters.
Four little letters
arranged in a certain order.
Yeah.
That's it. But this whole kerfuffle.
You have a way of minimizing
Wait
the
a minute.
tremendous.
No. Let me finish, please. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So this whole kerfuffle has come about because of four little letters arranged in one particular order. I don't know how many times I've heard the very progressive left use horrible adjectives.
Worse than that.
For the people they disagree with, right? So
wait a minute. Can I help you? We had a guy on Bainbridge that hated Paul so much that he sent a message to Paul's now ex-wife and apologized to her for the fact that Paul was beating her. Just because that's what he did. Yeah. We have a group out of the North End that called me the Grand Master of the KKK.
The Grand Wizard.
Sorry, I don't have the terms, and I don't know
wizard
that
always shows up when they intend to, or a wizard's never late.
I don't know the damn handshake. By the way, are there apologies coming for that from you schmucks? Of course there's not. You don't want to play on an even playing field. Okay? One last thing I want to touch on, and then I'm going to shut up for a minute and let you guys talk.
I'm enjoying this, by the way.
The Dems on the North End. You hypocritical, blasphemous sons of bitches. The fact that you guys would take the clip from when Beeler said it, and then you edited it out the end so that they couldn't hear what Daria said when Daria said, "Can we not do that?" The fact that you guys were so afraid of the fact that Daria actually said, "Let's not do that," that you morons cut the clip. You literally went into your Adobe program and thought, well, we better cut this out because that doesn't necessarily support our agenda. And then you shared it. You've got to be out of your mind. Do you know how hard it is to be a Democrat today when there are Democrats like you lying about other Democrats in dishonest ways just to prove your point? You guys are insane. You all should be ashamed of yourselves. You're not even Democrats anymore. You're absolute, total, complete socialist, communist D-bags. And I want you to own it. I want you guys to go on your sites tomorrow and go, you know what? We were dishonest and we lied to all of you, and we apologize. No, it's not going to happen.
No.
But the fact that you guys want us to apologize, you want Beeler to apologize for a 4-letter word. I will tell you that what you guys did when you edited the video and shared it was far worse. Because what Beeler did is she owned the opinion that she has every single day.
Every single day.
She didn't deceive anybody. She didn't lie to anybody. She didn't try to hide the truth to nobody.
And she always used colorful language. Always.
But again, she was loud and proud about what she feels. What you guys did on the North End was you took the video and you edited to back an agenda to go after Daria. That's what you've got? You know what I've learned out of this whole thing? You guys are freaking terrified of Daria. And his message, and his methods, and his movement, and his ability to talk to people, and his ability to build bridges, and his ability to find compromise and go to the other sides and figure out how they can work together to do what's best for the people in the 23rd District. You guys are terrified.
Not to mention fiscal responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah, not to mention the fiscal responsibility.
Very, very appealing.
And by the way, so many people have commented in all the threads about the exact same things. Tara's out of touch.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are scared to death of what Daria represents.
Yeah.
That's what this has proven.
And you know what, Kevin?
Yeah.
For every Democrat that's feeling disenfranchised by the Democrats, there's a Republican that's feeling that too. And what do you think's going to happen? They're all going to meet in the middle. And then you guys are going to be on the outs.
Yep.
And then what's going to happen?
The number
You're going to be sitting there right now, like the Republicans are sitting right now, and having no voice in the legislature.
And you're right, because at this point, the far left has lost Bill Maher. And when you lose Bill Maher,
seriously, you're done. You're toast.
Like I've posted, you can go to my page. I've posted like 3 of his clips from just the last week, where he talks about how crazy not Democrats. They're normal, just genuine people. I know plenty of them that love to just have a conversation about an issue. I'm talking the far left, the sycophants, just like Trump has them on the right, right? The sycophants on the left. Those of you that, and you look, I'm not going to tell somebody not to vote for Tara Simmons. You go ahead and vote for her. It's your choice.
Right. Just vote,
please. If you're going to vote for her, don't tell people like us that are putting out hey, here's the text message thread. Here's the information on the complaints at the state level again, whatever. Just because when we're putting out the truth of the matter, like, don't attack the messenger. And if you're bothered by it, talk to her.
Yeah.
Or maybe look inside yourself about why you're bothered by it. Because that's crazy.
And listen, this idea that we have, I'm gonna use colorful language tonight, guys. I'm sorry, I'm really trying not to.
Okay.
You're tired.
I'm exhausted. The fact that you guys think we have a hard on for every Democrat that we're just going to bury and go after, the fact that that's what you think. Do you know that we don't talk about Nance or Drew Hansen on the North End? And why do I not talk about them? Here's why.
They're doing their jobs.
Well, again,
simple,
exactly. I don't support all their policies.
No, exactly.
But they're doing exactly what they said they were going to do for the district they chose to represent. So more power to them. We're not going after them. I'm not going after, what's his name? Addison Richards in the 26, which is my district.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. I don't approve of everything he's doing, but it's nothing for me to dogpile on him about. So this idea that the only reason why we go after Deb Critic is because I can't pronounce her name. Okay.
Well, thank God it's not peak boot.
Yeah. But listen, this idea that we have a hard on to go after every single Democrat candidate is not based in fact. It's based on a bunch of people that are terrified that you're going to hear the truth about the lies that they're spreading and the misinformation that they're giving.
When it does come down to a matter of numbers, too. There's more Democrats in the state than there are Republicans.
There are not.
There isn't. We just can't get our asses out of the
I'm
polls.
referring to in office.
Oh, in office.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're talking about
true.
complaining about politicians,
Yeah.
right? So I mean that's the population sample.
Well, I'll give Democrats one thing: they ain't as lazy as Republicans when it comes to voting.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's the best part of this, right? Is that Republicans Democrats are good at voting in this
absolutely.
state. They're better at voting, not great at voting, because
Republicans have so much apathy towards it.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Well, they've been disenfranchised for a long time.
We're going to talk.
They're
about that
disenfranchised
later.
by their own fault.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
they need to get to the
because they don't vote.
I blame that mostly on party leadership.
You can. That's a fair complaint right there.
I mean, if you're going to lead a party, you need to market that party. That's your job.
By the way, tonight's drinking game isn't listen to the phrase, isn't
deregulation grand.
That is the drinking game tonight. Every time
Well, by the way,
that phrase,
I don't know if you guys have
take
been
a
on
shot.
Call Sheet today, but if you've been on Call Sheet actually has open bets on whether or not Beeler drops the See You Next Tuesday again tonight. So Call Sheet is actually accepting bets on that. Okay, we're going to segue a little bit. We're still going to talk about Tara.
Well, and in a little bit, we're going to have Tawnee Cowan in, and she's going to talk about the kerfluffle that is the Paulsville City Council.
Yeah. By the way, we're all over the county. We're at North End to start. We're going to come back to the South, and I guarantee you, in third hour, we're going right back to you people on the North End.
Yeah, we are.
Because this conversation ain't going nowhere. All right. So buckle up, grab yourself a stiff drink, especially if you're up north, because either you're really curious about all this because this is the first you're hearing about
Which
it.
we don't blame you for.
We're about to blow your socks off, right?
Blowing the minds.
Or B, you're in the Tara Simmons camp and you're all pissed off at us. And if you think we're done, look right here. Look, you have my undivided attention. And I got nothing else better to do with my life. Okay. So
I got the message sent to me. When you started yelling earlier, you sound like Gilbert Gottfried.
Well, I love Gilbert
Kevin,
Gottfried.
that was awesome.
I'm just
there's an interesting comment in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, read it. Go ahead,
from
bro.
Adeline. Hi, normal Democrat here. In fact, I brought you Bryn Felix and Jeff Coughlin.
Thank you, Adeline. Whatever you're about to say next. Thank you.
I have always found you guys to be fair and honest. I've left the local party because the 7 loudest people in the party are insane. They bully, they lie, they intimidate, and harass.
Adeline, thank you so much. If you're willing to do so, I'd like to hear about who those 7 voices are. Because I bet I know 3 of them off the top of my head. Okay, so I need you guys to get some paper out, make a Venn diagram. Because
where's the paper?
We are
you guys
literally
get your paper.
Who doesn't love a Venn diagram?
Are you channeling your inner Kamala?
Get your push pins.
No.
Are you ready? Get your
Because
yarn.
I did not drink 35 White Claws before I started this segment. We're going to go over information. There is a packet of data on Tara that has circulated around the 23rd district. It is strong. It is loud. It is proud. It is all over the place on the North End. Now, the problem is it's not really getting disseminated to voters, and it can't, right? It's a lot of data. The average voter's not going to read it.
It's not going to fit on a postcard.
Yeah. So we're going to share it with you. And if you would like, we will share the packet with you when we're done.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will disseminate it out.
And to be
we
clear,
will spell out the website for you where you can go get it.
To be clear, this is not the packet that we refused to go public with when Tara initially ran for office.
Yeah. The packet that outed her as a convicted felon, we didn't do that to her because we wanted to be fair. We didn't necessarily think that the witch hunt was founded. So
you sat down, you had coffee with her
at Sherry's.
Wow, I didn't know that, you guys. That's big of you.
And he did that because at that time it was just really Kevin and I.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna defend Kevin, but we were seen as a real right-wing show. It was hard to get Democrats on, mostly because I kept proving my points and Kevin was just an emotional basket case.
I could see that happening.
But
yeah.
With that in mind, Kevin's come a long way. He's matured.
He
as a
has
show
matured.
host. So
Can I say this real
I'm
quick?
proud of him.
Adeline said,
I never thought it would happen.
Adeline said in the chat that she'll get hate messages because of what she posted. Why?
Yeah.
Why would you give her hate messages?
Seriously.
Because she left the party because she doesn't agree with the direction and you're going to get hate messages? Reminds me of Marco Padilla. If you guys remember Marco Padilla back in the day, he was a Hispanic guy that ran for Kitsap County Commissioner.
Yeah.
And he got hate messages from the Dems because he was a Latino. Dems were pissed off because he wasn't running as a Democrat. He was running as an independent. Like that warrants hate messages. I swear to God. And I know Hanny's in the room and I love Hanny.
Yeah, we love him.
But the fact that my party,
she wanted to keep that secret.
No, she's been talking in the background. I can't keep it a
Kevin, I'm
secret.
kidding. It's a joke. See, this is how spun up you are.
The fact that my party has become the party of racist hate mongers pisses me off so bad, because that used to be the moniker that people would accuse the Republicans of, and now it's the moniker that is the mainstream Democrat Party: racist, sexist hate mongers. And that pisses me off because that's not the party that I grew up supporting. But I digress.
Well, and I'm curious, and I'm going to ask the question in the third hour so you guys can think about it. I think that they've had to go that way because the far left, the Democrat Socialists of America and other groups like that have kind of cornered the market almost on the platform and the messaging, especially with their election victories over the last 6 months to a year. So I think it has forced the party to go further to the left in order to maintain their positions. So, but we can talk about that later. It's just a thought I wanted to throw out there and get your guys' ideas on.
Well, I mean, but Adeline getting hate messages, I mean, that's just the state of politics now. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
It's not party specific.
Yeah.
I mean, if
it's both sides.
If I have an opinion that doesn't match your opinion, I am somehow
you're a Nazi.
I'm the spawn of Satan.
Yeah.
I'm a Nazi. I'm Genghis Khan. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, really quick, Margie asked what Tara Simmons was convicted of. So Tara Simmons was convicted in 2011 of second-degree assault, second-degree robbery, third-degree assault, theft, and drug charges. She was sentenced to 30 months in prison in 2011. But hey, never fear, she got one of her seatmates in the North End to vacate her conviction.
Yeah.
By the way, Dems, how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Are you okay with people getting convicted of violent crime and then getting one of their seatmates in the legislature to go ahead and help them get their conviction purged? Because nobody else in the county is able to do that. Most people that are convicted of a felony can't afford to do that. But Tara could. You want to talk about special white privilege? There you go.
Well, and you can ask the question, because you made a good point that most people couldn't afford to do that, right? But I don't believe that there was any charge for it. I think he just did it for her because he's her seatmate. But I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Right. We weren't part of that conversation.
By the way, I will remind you that all the stuff that Tara has done and that some of her cronies have done up north, have you noticed what they've done?
What?
They've blocked commenting.
Oh, that's
so. Like when they shared that video, the edited video that didn't, they blocked commenting.
Shut up.
So that people couldn't come on and say, "Oh, hey, by the way, did you know that Daria replied?" No, they turned off the commenting. This is the most disingenuous, nonsensical bullcrap I've ever met in my life. Hold on. What?
Hold on. What's going on?
This mic. Go ahead.
Time out.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Initially, the comments were on. And that's when I downloaded the video and I grabbed comments.
Oh, and then they turned them off.
And then they turned them off because about 75% of the comments were in favor of Daria.
Yeah, of course they were.
Yeah.
So of course they turned the comments off because God forbid they see what the movement is doing.
Yep.
God forbid. Okay.
There you go.
Let's get to this. Again,
Turn off the mic.
Your mic is off. This is a 35-ish page dossier that has been floating around the 23rd district. I'm gonna go over this. And I'm going to say, and you guys chime in whenever you want to. Okay. I've got the stuff in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you guys feel like I'm dominating, I can step back a little bit.
No, go ahead.
Okay. No,
You're on fire tonight, man. I love this.
That and you got the data. So
as long as you don't mind that we keep jumping in once in a while.
No, I want you to. I
good.
want you to. And by the way, let me just tell you this. If you think that what we go over tonight is everything that's out there on Tara, you're sadly mistaken. Because this is the tip of the literal iceberg. There is more stuff coming.
If you're listening to the show or if you're sitting in studio and you have the opportunity to share tonight's show on any of those pages, Paul's Bowl for All or Bainbridge Islanders, share the show. Just give them folks a chance. They're not going to go looking for us.
Yeah, and by the way,
they don't want to have that narrative disrupted.
And by the way, they're more than welcome to come on the show.
Anytime.
What are their names? What are those crazy women's names up north?
Indivisible Bainbridge?
No, their name. Keeley, Pam Keeley is one of them. I know.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember their names.
Tara,
That's how insignificant
Pam,
they are to me.
Any of you guys, if you guys want to come on the show, send me a Facebook message. Just say, Kevin, we think you're a giant piece of monkey crap. We'd like to come on your right-wing hate show. And we'll get you a Zoom link, and you can come in on the Zoom link. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
We would. We'd love to have you. I can't imagine that you're going to be civil and want to have a conversation. That's probably way above your pay grade, but we'll let you come on. Because we've never told anybody, including the whack job that is Ace Haynes, we've told him he can come on the show, just not in person because he's threatening people.
Yeah,
he's
crazy.
cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
All right.
And you listen, and you got to give props out to probably one of the furthest to the left people that we've ever had on this show. And tell her, Lila,
yeah.
because she even came out
Yeah,
and
Lila
made the point,
And then then there's Holly who lied out of her ass. But whatever's Holly. Good to hear.
And
from
I
you.
asked her to clarify some of her comments, and of course she didn't.
No, of course she didn't. No.
It's fine. I don't know that anybody pays her any attention anymore.
All right. So first, there's the ethics complaint. All right. And this was the ethics complaint that was filed against Tara. Is it Tara or Tara? Tara. Okay, Tara. I want to get her name right because, this was filed. This was filed by Val Torrens, who I believe is a member of the party, right? He's chair of the 23rd. So listen, this is not like partisan stuff. This is not the Republicans dog boning Tara. This is somebody within the party leadership filing an ethics complaint against their own state representative. Like, I couldn't script this any better. So I'm going to read this. This is a complaint about the treatment and expenditures of campaign donations by current Representative Tara Simmons. The 23rd Legislative District would like this issue reviewed and appropriate action to be taken. It says that she made 2 donations of $15,000 in July and August of 2025 to Better Minds, Better Communities.
And we'll get into the Better Minds, Better Communities.
So get your Venn diagram. Which have no public records describing the organization and who is responsible for it and who is the recipient of these monies. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background. When you have a campaign in the state of Washington and you have extra funds from a previous campaign, you can dispose of those funds, but they have to be done in really specific ways.
Yeah.
You can donate them to another campaign or Democrat Party or whatever.
Or a 501c3.
So something involving candidates or a 501c3. That's the only thing you can do with those funds. You can't write yourself a check. You can't pay your mortgage. You can't do any of that. There's really specific ways that has to be dealt with. Okay. So Tara made 2 donations of $15,000 in July and August of last year to this Better Minds, Better Communities. Now, this is unique, right? I don't think anybody in our district had ever heard of Better Minds, Better Communities. Why would you? They're not based in Washington. They're based in Vegas.
Well, they weren't. And that's where getting into the date about Better Minds, Better Communities in a bit will clarify that.
Okay, so Better Minds and Better Communities receives that money. Now, a couple things about Better Minds and Better Communities that you need to be aware of. Okay, again, they are based in Las Vegas. They haven't filed any paperwork with the IRS since 2018. Now, as a guy that used to work for the Internal Revenue Service,
does that make you mad, Kevin? Does that get your panties in a wad?
No, because I didn't work for a nonprofit. That wasn't my area. But if you don't file a tax return in 3 years with the IRS, you lose your nonprofit status.
Yep.
So the last time they filed paperwork with the IRS was 2018. That means they lost their nonprofit status after they didn't file their 2021.
You would think.
Well, they should
lost
have.
it, right? Yeah.
Now, again, did the IRS catch up with them? Have they been audited? That's all federal stuff. I don't have access to that. We don't know.
4 years or more for them to catch up to.
But legally, they should not have a nonprofit status at this time.
Right.
Okay. Now, that's actually really good for us. And I'll tell you why. Because they received $30,000, they're legally obligated to file a tax return for the 2025 tax year because that's when they received the money. So they should have filed something this year by April 15th, unless they got an extension, which would have given them till October 15th.
Right.
So there's room, but they still should file paperwork because they've received money. Okay.
Good tax advice.
Yeah. The problem here is when you get into the when you get into some of the weirdness of this, right? So Tara was in Vegas in June of 2025. She has a standing relationship with Jovan Jackson, who is
it's really well. If I may suggest, or I'll do it if you don't want to. But
do you want to read that whole thing?
Well,
Okay.
I think that puts everything in perspective.
All right.
That way, you're not accused of misrepresenting anything because this is
all
really
right.
well.
That's actually right. That's actually, and I don't want people to say that I'm
dogpiling.
that I'm paraphrasing incorrectly.
Right.
So I'm going to read this to you. This document presents a fact-based summary drawn from publicly available records, including campaign finance filings, nonprofit registries, and government databases. It does not allege criminal conduct or assert wrongdoing. Its purpose is merely to clearly lay out documented facts, provide relevant context, and identify questions that may warrant review by authorities with appropriate jurisdiction. If you represent authorities with appropriate jurisdiction, get your Venn diagram ready. For several years, Washington State Representative Tara Simmons, followed a consistent and transparent approach to disposing of surplus campaign funds. Her surplus account ledger shows that charitable disbursements labeled as disposal of surplus funds to charity were directed overwhelmingly to Washington-based nonprofits, many of which located in Kitsap County. These donations were generally modest in size, most often in the hundreds to low thousands of dollars, and distributed across a wide range of community organizations. We have an appendix we can provide you. It'll be in the document if you want to read it. In July and August of 2025, that longstanding pattern shifted. Representative Simmons made two unusually large surplus fund payments, $15,000 each, to a Nevada nonprofit called Better Minds, Better Communities, BMBC. The combined $30,000 far exceeded any prior charitable single disbursement from her surplus account and marked a clear departure from both the scale and geographic focus of her earlier giving. In both cases, the recipient address listed on the Washington Public Disclosure Commission's filing was not a nonprofit office, but a private residence in Las Vegas.
And we have the pictures of it.
We got pictures. Oh, yeah, I can do yeah. Public records raise questions about the operational viability of the organization receiving the funds. Better Minds, Better Communities is listed under IRS EIN 47-2764-226, public record, by the way.
EIN is your employer identification number, folks, for those.
Basically a business tax number like your social, but for a business.
Right.
With its most recent IRS filing occurring in 2021 and reporting no income. I thought it was 2018. See, I can
That was the last time they reported income.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
The organization does not appear to maintain an active website, public-facing programs, or donation interface. Across various government and nonprofit registries, BMBC is associated with multiple addresses in Las Vegas, including a private home, a downtown office location, and addresses linked to other healthcare-related entities, making it difficult to determine where or how it primarily operates.
Which is a nice way of saying, WTF do they do?
Yes. And again, they're a nonprofit that doesn't have any way for average people to make donations or to contribute to the mission of the nonprofit, which by the way,
the first of many red flags, people.
And their mission changes consistently. We'll talk about that later. What is clearly documented in BMBC's own IRS paperwork is its leadership. An IRS 1023-EZ application lists Jovan Jackson. Remember that name.
We'll talk about him shortly.
As the organization's primary contact and a director, along with John Jackson.
Remember that name.
Hold on, real quick. I feel like we're in the movie JFK where he's like,
yes, we are. Both individuals list their address. I'm not going to give the address, but it's in the package. But it's the same address in Las Vegas. The same address used on Representative Simmons' campaign's finance filings for the two surplus fund disbursements. Jovan Jackson is not an anonymous nonprofit volunteer. He is a sitting member of the Nevada State Legislature. His oath to public office, which includes a widely documented period of incarceration followed by nonprofit and public service work, is not itself evidence of wrongdoing.
And that's very true.
Yep. It is relevant here because it establishes a substantial portion of Representative surplus campaign funds that were directed to a nonprofit led by an elected official in another state. Additional records provide further context. One of the addresses associated with Better Minds, Better Communities on Sahara Avenue also appears in records connected to True Family Services, a Nevada healthcare provider whose principles were sanctioned by the Nevada Attorney General's office in 2024.
Wait for it.
Submitting false claims.
Medicaid or Medicare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That enforcement action resulted in criminal sentencing for individuals linked to that same Las Vegas residence listed on Representative Simmons' surplus fund filings. So again, to put it into context, the money goes to Better Blah. They are linked to another entity, and those people were in trouble for filing false complaints not decades ago, but 2024.
Yeah.
And they are registered to the same address where the money that Tara gave went.
Now
that is run by former convicted felons.
So, Beeler, what does that establish?
Sorry, not former convicted felons.
Not former.
Convicted felons.
Currently convicted.
I don't know if they got them waived like Tara did because she's got white privilege, but go ahead.
I mean, I don't know where you're going with that, but my mind went to she's hanging out with felons again.
And what
probably some criminal activity going on.
So when because you worked in the justice system here in Washington State, when you're a convicted
probable
felon,
cause.
When you're a convicted felon, what do they tell you? Who are the people you can't hang out with?
Other convicted felons.
Just saying.
Oh my goodness.
Dun, dun,
But
dun.
yeah, exactly.
Well, if they're but I think that goes
it's
away.
not on her record anymore. That means she's not.
I know you are correct about that, but why do they do that? They do that because felons.
You're still a
hanging
felon.
with felons
doesn't
tend
matter.
to do felonious things.
But I don't. But I do want to be clear. I don't think that's a lifetime thing because a court can't
Not saying
enforce
it
it.
is.
Once they're no longer under a supervision or probation or whatever, I think it's just it falls by the
Look,
wayside because
it's
there's no way to enforce
You're
it.
right. It's like a felon carrying a gun. It's not illegal unless you get caught.
Yeah.
You know that. Just
But
think
I
about it like that.
guarantee with the amount of money, they are definitely felons. And it's going to be like that for a long time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unless they have a friend in the legislature that wipes their record clean for them, right?
So taken individually, this document says none of these facts establish a violation of campaign finance law, which they don't. Viewed together, though, they form a pattern of that merits scrutiny. A sudden and substantial break from past surplus fund practices, large out-of-state payments to a nonprofit with a limited visible profile, use of private residence as the listed address, leadership ties to a sitting legislator in another state, which I don't, is Nevada investigated in because they certainly should be.
Well, yes, and it's in the documents as you read through them.
Overlapping records involving individuals previously sanctioned for fraud.
Yeah.
I mean, all of this stuff, and listen, this ignores the prior ethics complaints about Tara, and this doesn't even get into that. It doesn't ignore, but it doesn't get into that. It doesn't get into any of the other stuff that we've talked about with Tara over the last year. Like, this is just a ingredient in the larger poo-poo platter that is Tara Simmons' reign on the north end as a state rep.
Yeah, look, we're not even baking the cake yet. We just added the sugar, folks. You want me to go ahead and take from here?
Yeah, go ahead.
All
Go
right.
ahead. I need to rest my voice.
I was getting that impression, brother.
Yeah.
At its core, the question raised by these records is straightforward. Were Washington campaign funds or campaign surplus funds used as intended? Were they used as intended? Don't know. Right? We have no idea. We have no idea how they were used. Solely for bona fide charitable purposes without personal benefit and in compliance with state law. Answering that question requires review by authorities with the ability to verify charitable operations, examine fund flows, and determine whether these unusual transactions were appropriate under Washington's campaign finance framework. Now let's do a summary of the potential campaign finance issues here. This document, the one that we're reading from, outlines publicly sourced information that appears to merit review regarding 2 surplus fund disbursements made by Representative Simmons during the 2025 reporting period. The information summarized here is drawn from Washington PDC filings, the IRS, and nonprofit registry records. That's NPI data, Nevada business filings, and publicly available online content. So for a lot of you folks, especially the folks that I've been interacting with up in Bainbridge Island, the accusation was made that everything that we say about Representative Simmons is basically hearsay, including the text chain and everything else, right? So I posted it, but that's another story. The goal here is not to assert wrongdoing, and that's very important, right? We're not going to sit here and say she did X, Y, and Z, and that's wrong and that's illegal. That's not what we're here to do.
Yep.
We're here to provide you with the data as it stands, and each one of you gets to make your own conclusion or draw your own conclusion. Let me go ahead and go through. Okay, so here's our overview. The analysis concerns 2 surplus campaign fund charitable disbursements totaling $30,000, as we stated earlier, made by Simmons in 2025 to the Nevada nonprofit Better Minds, Better Communities. Public records reflect irregularities in Better Mind, Better Communities registration and operational footprint, including documented leadership ties to individuals associated with entities previously sanctioned for Medicaid fraud in Nevada. And actually, that's incomplete. There were considerable other crimes as well, and we'll get to that.
Yep.
Washington law requires that surplus campaign funds be used only for lawful purposes and without conferring personal benefit on the candidate. Pretty clear. Not saying that she did. Not saying that she received any personal benefit from this. We don't know. We weren't there. But again, we've heard this 1,000 times from 1 million people about the Epstein files, right?
Right.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. So you can't, if you're a good, decent, and honest person, you can't look at Trump and the Epstein files and make that accusation, but then say it doesn't apply to Simmons. So the key financial sequence goes like this. Prior to July 2025, Rep. Simmons' surplus account ledger reflects a consistent pattern of charitable disbursements to Washington-based nonprofits, including organizations in Kitsap County, which is great. These donations were generally modest in size, most often in the hundreds to the low thousands of dollars, and spread across numerous recipients. Examples include contributions to the NAACP, Doc Love the Kids, and other Washington-based community organizations. By the way, Doc, you just heard Kevin earlier talk about how Doc's been on the show several times. We love Doc.
And he races with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
He'll be racing with us in the Outlaw
Friend of the
Invitational
show.
next month at the Kitsap County KDDA.
But Doc, no matter how much we love you, I'm still going to beat you like I'm going to beat everybody else. Go ahead.
Oh, I will have 4 good tires under me this year.
Okay, I hope so.
And I will have an engine that doesn't fail me.
All right, stay on time.
I'm just going to say this, like a hooker in church, you suck. All right. Better minds, better communities.
What church do you go to?
Wow.
I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop while I'm behind. On July 7th, 2025, reported on the C4 filed on 8/11/25, Rep. Simmons made a $15,000 surplus fund disbursement to Better Minds, Better Communities, located at 6764 Felipe Allen Avenue in Las Vegas. On August 18th, 2025, reported on the C4 filed on 9/19/25, Rep. Simmons made a second $15,000 surplus fund disbursement to the same organization, bringing that total to $30,000. And by the way, just to throw this in for a little bit of seasoning on the cake, she's out of money.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
So here she is running for office, and she's spent over $100,000. And she gave away $30,000 to this nonprofit.
Can I remind you too about what she said when we had her on this show? Because by the way, look at me. We've had tons of Democrats on here, including Tara, multiple times. You little liars.
Some frustration going on behind the scenes.
That she said on this show that she wasn't worried about running for re-election.
Correct.
That she didn't need to worry about it because of the district that she was in. She said that,
which is a polite way of saying
I can do what I want.
Yeah, I'm untouchable. I'm Tara Simmons with my emotional support dog.
Get rid of your ego.
Me or her?
I was talking to the camera.
Oh, just
that was definitely for
so.
her.
So these two payments represent the largest individual. Yep, that's what I meant. Sorry, I'm Polish. The largest individual charitable disbursements made from Rep. Simmons' surplus account and mark a significant departure from her prior surplus fund donation practices, both in size and geographic destination. So the organizational identity and the registration context is important to understand here. Better Minds, Better Communities. I'm not going to go through the EIN number and stuff. It'll all be in the documents if you guys want them. IRS Form 1023 Easy Filing, publicly available. Shows that the primary contact is Jovan Jackson. Again, remember that name. And the directors are Jovan Jackson and John Jackson.
Which I believe are father and son, by the way.
And again, we have all their addresses and everything else. Their incorporation date was December 26th, 2014. Sounds like somebody got a little tanked at the Christmas party and decided to start a nonprofit. These records document that Jovan Jackson is an officer and the primary contact, and that the same private residence listed on Rep. Simmons' campaign filings, you hear what I just said, the same private residence listed on Rep. Simmons' campaign filings is also listed for Better Minds, Better Communities as a director.
Can I share with you some information about Better Minds Community?
You can.
This is from their 2021 filings. I believe from 2021. You know how much revenue? Oh, sorry, 2018 stuff. This is their 2018 information. You know how much revenue they had?
I think they had $2,500. They
had zero revenue.
Okay.
They had zero expenses. That tells me an operation that's not operating. They had $2,500 in assets, and they claimed $2,500 in liabilities. That sounds really now. Again, I'm not
like they bought a car with their nonprofit.
But all I'm saying is that sounds. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but if I was trying to make sure that my assets broke zero, that's exactly what this does. This breaks them zero.
And can you tell the people what you used to do, Kev?
I used to work for the IRS.
Yeah.
We have $2,500 in assets, but we also owe $2,500. We break exactly zero. Again, I'm not making any accusations, but it seems a little wonky.
Red flag, right?
And why would Tara take $30,000 and give it to a company, a nonprofit,
untested, unproven nonprofit that's done nothing,
that has no active web presence, that has no active ability for the people to donate,
really.
that doesn't have a footprint.
Yeah.
And the business that business is associated with got busted in 2024 for filing false Medicare claims.
Yep.
And you thought it was a good idea a year later to give them $30,000 of your extra money? But you love your community so much. What could that $30,000 have been in your community, Tara?
That's like a new playground or something for the kids.
Talk to Kimmy Siebens. How many homeless people could that 30 grand?
Yeah, really,
help?
they're expensive.
Why didn't you give it to Paul's Boat for All? Oh, Paul's Boat for All. You should be asking that question.
So, and continuing on, NPI records also list David Linden, MD, remember that name, as an authorized official with an Oklahoma mailing address and a phone number that routes to Mind Body Solutions, further
isn't that kid
complicating
playing
the
on words?
organization's operational profile. All right, now it gets juicy. Like, here's where we're adding that juicy cream pie filling to the cake. The connections to individuals previously sanctioned for fraud. You ready for this? BMBC associated address at 914 Sahara Avenue also appears in records tied to True Family Services, a Nevada healthcare provider. People, are you picking up what I'm putting down?
I mean, I get it.
I bet you do. See you next Tuesday, too. Public records indicate that True Family Services and its principals were sanctioned by the Nevada Attorney General's office in 2024 for submitting false claims. Anne Marie Roberts, also known as Anne Marie Jackson, identified as an owner.
Jackson.
Identified as an owner of the True Family Services. She was sentenced in June 2024 for making her false and misleading claims. A second associated individual with the surname Jackson was sentenced in September 2024 for felony false claims. The private residence at 6764 Felipe Allen Avenue, the address used on Rep. Simmons surplus fund filings, is also listed in public records as the home address of Anna Marie Roberts / Anna Marie Jackson and John Jackson, who appears in Nevada business filings as an officer of Jovan Jackson for Nevada LLC.
Oh, so he's running for office too.
Ran and won.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Now another formerly incarcerated person.
Right.
Hey, it gave them something to bond over. Don't knock it till you try it. Some kids think it's great.
You're good.
Okay, here's the personal connection timeline. Based
By the
on
way,
publicly...
He's a state representative in
Yes.
Nevada, by the way.
Yes.
Just so you know what he won.
Yeah. Based on publicly available online content, and this includes social media, folks, people. Rep. Simmons traveled to Las Vegas in June 2025.
One of many vacations she's taken.
Rep. Simmons has a standing relationship with Jovan Jackson. Approximately 30 to 45 days later, Better Minds, Better Communities received the first of the two $15,000 surplus fund disbursements. While public records do not establish the purpose of the trip, right? She didn't post on there, I'm going to Vegas to gamble. She didn't do that. Shocking.
Yeah, because she posts about everything with that fucking dog, man.
Well, you know, that dog puts out a lot of freaking Tootsie Rolls, so you need to be chill on the dog.
Be nice to the dog.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't dogging the dog.
Dog's probably really
So,
unhappy.
While public records don't establish the purpose of the trip or the reasons BMBC was selected as a recipient, the timing provides a relevant context for evaluating the decision-making process behind, the donations.
It's quite a coincidence.
And I, for one, do not believe in coincidence at all.
I really don't either.
It's up to everybody else to speak on their own.
You draw your own conclusions.
So I could go down and go through all of the other amounts because we have it all sitting here where her surplus funds have gone. But it looks to me like the biggest one she ever did was like $1,500. No, she had a $2,000 donation to the Revive Center for Returning Citizens in Spokane. Not her district, but in Spokane. Just saying. So there's a bunch that's all in the documentation. It's all in the paperwork.
By the way, really quick, if you're joining us, we're going to talk with Tawnee Cowan. She has graciously agreed to move back to 8:30, so we can continue going through this stuff. So we're not breaking this stuff up. And then at 8:30, we'll talk with Tawnee. Thank you so much, Tawnee. You're the bestest.
Yes, and that's going to be a great conversation
As well.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the North End that's dysfunctional this week.
No, it's close to home, and I'll be very interested in this just because I don't know, own a business in the city limits of Port Orchard.
And you live in the city limits?
I do not live in the city limits, which makes me extra frustrated because I own a business in the city limits, but I can't vote on things in city limits because I don't live in city limits.
All right, let's get back to this.
Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
Go ahead, Paul.
No, it's okay. I'm trying to find a good spot to kind of jump back into this because a lot of these are pictures and stuff that go along with.
Can I share something as we're talking about nonprofits? Because I think this is really relevant. I want to remind you guys about the Civil Survivor Board. That was a nonprofit that Tara Simmons founded that kicked her out.
You mean fired her?
Yeah, fired her. And they were so discouraged, or whatever adjective you want to assign to it, that they had to respond to a KUOW news story about her ouster. And I'm going to read to you verbatim from their statement. And this is all over the place. We're not making this up. You can Google it.
And I think that they are currently under a gag order. They're not allowed to talk about this. That was Tara's parting gift, if I understand. We do have a source inside of Civil Survivor that's provided us a lot of info, but it's very so we have this info and we sit on it, but we can't vet it. So we're not putting it out there.
But this is their statement, okay? And this is all public record. I'm just going to read you what it says. And not all of it, just this part. As an organization, we take seriously adherence to our employment policies, code of conduct, and mission to organize system-impacted individuals, provide legal representation, and advocate for policy reform aimed at restoring opportunities to communities impacted by the criminal legal system. Tara's department is a result of repeated violations of our organizational policies and conduct standards. For example, Tara has engaged in unprofessional and inappropriate interactions with staff, including verbally berating an employee, which violates our policy against harassment and retaliation. Additionally, Tara has threatened Civil Survival's funding and the continued employment of Civil Survival's staff members.
That is
You want to talk? That is called undue influence, by the way.
How did she threaten their funding? She threatened their funding from Olympia. As a state representative, she threatened the fact that they could get that funding from Olympia. So, again, nail in the coffin. By itself, it's one thing. When you combine all the ingredients together, you get a crap gumbo.
Crap gumbo. Good
Just
Lord,
call
that's a
it
good news.
shit
I love
gumbo.
that phrase. I'm going to use that.
I like crap gumbo.
Stop disparaging Cajun food. It is one of my
love gumbo.
favorites.
Do you make
Absolutely.
it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, back to this. Let's go.
So we told you, we gave you some names earlier. I hope you remember them. There's going to be a test later because you get ready for this. Attorney General Ford, that's down in Nevada, has announced conviction of a fraudulent health care provider. Nevada Attorney General Aaron D. Ford announced that True Family Services, does that name ring a bell?
Dun, dun, dun!
Was sentenced today for fraudulently billing Medicaid for healthcare services that were never provided to Medicaid recipients.
And when was that, Paul?
I'm getting to
okay.
But it was September of 2024. Listen, folks,
not even a year.
Pardon me just a second, guys. Came up in the chat at the shooting at Seattle Center. 2 killed, 5 injured.
Oh, man.
Oh, jeez. All right, we'll talk about that later tonight as well.
True Family was sentenced for a Category D felony offense of submitting false claims Medicaid fraud by District Court Judge Erica Ballou. Previously, on June 13th, 2024, True Family's owner, Anna Marie Caiazzo Roberts, was sentenced for a misdemeanor offense of submitting false claims Medicaid fraud by Las Vegas Justice Court Judge Eric Goodman. As part of the sentence, Judge Ballou ordered True Family to pay $52,000 in restitution. The fraud occurred between November 2021 and June 2022. Individuals or businesses convicted of Medicaid fraud may also be administratively excluded from future Medicaid and Medicare participation. So listen, we talk about this thing frequently enough. Like, it's no different than illegal immigrants opening up a business in Washington State. You open the business up, you run it into the ground because you don't have to worry about certain things like taxes or a customer that you did wrong, and then you just open up another one, right? So again, we're putting together these patterns of behavior that are consistently going on, and they all seem to revolve around the same elected state representative. And listen, I'm going to say this. At worst, you have to already say she's got the worst judgment you could possibly imagine.
Seriously.
Like
the optics of it alone. I mean, what the fuck?
Actually, I restated. I should have said at best.
Yeah.
You're looking at this going, she's got the worst judgment imaginable. And I haven't even touched on her debt to the IRS yet. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And there's something to be said for a person that will explain or dictate to the rest of us how the rich have to pay their fair share when she herself isn't paying her fair share.
Exactly.
And by the way, you can look that up. It's private, or it's public data. It's on her, I think it's the F filing, her financial filing.
Yeah, F1 filing.
Yeah. The investigation began After the Medicare Fraud Control Unit received a referral from Nevada Medicaid Surveillance Unit against True Family, a rehabilitative mental health provider. Remember that, mental health provider. Based on continuing to bill in a manner contradictory to Medicaid policy. They referred the alleged True Family bill. They alleged True Family billed for Medicaid services which misrepresented to Nevada Medicaid Services, and it was not made public. Okay, so that's one of the people. Okay,
can I tell you about the other one?
Yeah, go,
You'd
Kevin.
like to tell us about Dr. David?
I'm going to talk to you about Dr. David Lindgren.
Yeah.
Linden, sorry, Dr. David Linden. Listen, Dr. David Linden did what people always want to do. They went to Vegas. They want to go to Vegas and come back with more money than what they started with, and that's what he tried to do. Congratulations to him. However, he did it illegally. He tried to cash $300,000 worth of bad checks at 3 separate casinos in Las Vegas, according to the Clark County, Nevada District Attorney.
He was sweating when he signed his name on those
gambling money.
A lot of gambling.
He's a psychiatrist in both Las Vegas and Oklahoma City.
Well, he's not a psychiatrist in Oklahoma anymore.
Didn't Tara have a gambling problem?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know if she did or not.
I will say this.
Okay, I take that back. I suck it back.
We have been told that. We're not able to verify.
Yeah, we can't verify.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We have an inside source at the casino.
By the way, if you're frustrated at Beeler, take a shot because you're gonna freaking need one. This is not the first time that his character is come into question. By the way, in 2006, his medical license was suspended for 45 days for what? Sexual misconduct with a patient.
Tell him the rest.
Yeah, tell him the rest.
Oh, hold on, I gotta go
So
find
juicy.
it.
Oh, the rest is
Okay, I got it right here.
Yeah.
He engaged in sexual intercourse with a patient. The defendant engaged in these sexual acts at the same time he was maintaining a doctor-patient relationship and prescribing dangerous drugs to his patient.
Well,
during the course of the relationship, the
gave her
patient
herpes, dude.
contracted herpes. And so then he, under the table, gave her medication to treat the herpes that he gave her in the inappropriate relationship.
Well, think about the recurring revenue.
Okay. Beginning in or around 2004 and continuing through March 2006, this was a 2-year thing. He engaged in sexual relationship with the patient, engaged in these acts at the same time he was maintaining a doctor-patient relationship, and prescribed dangerous drugs and other dangerous drugs to the patient. During the course of the relationship, she got herpes.
Are antivirals dangerous?
And the defendant admitted that he had infected the patient with the disease. Again, it doesn't say what.
Which, by the way, is against the law.
Oh, listen, I'm going to read you that it does have the medication in there. Listen to this. Hydrocodone, that's dangerous.
Vicodin?
It's a narcotic.
It's an opioid.
It's an opioid, which can be addictive.
Well, yes.
It's a drug. It can be misused to get high.
Sure.
Yes.
Butalbital.
Don't know that one.
Yeah.
Promethazine.
Don't know.
Imitrex.
No.
Topamax.
No.
Cyclobenzaprine.
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Acyclovir. To treat her herpes, but listen, my point with this is, the acyclovir would make sense. You gave her herpes, and you're a psychiatrist prescribing medication for herpes. Okay, probably outside of the purview of your medical license, but whatevs.
Just a tad.
But okay, let's say he's trying to do it on the DL because he feels bad. I could understand the acyclovir. I can't understand hydrocodone.
Yeah.
I can't understand Imitrex. I can't understand cyclobenzaprine.
I don't know what any of those do.
Cyclobenzaprine's a muscle relaxer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe illegal sex with a patient is better when they're on muscle
A dead
relaxers.
fish?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, listen. Again, we're not doing this to drag him through the mud. He did that just fine all by himself. But again, it is to connect the dots. Like if you're looking at this Venn diagram and you're drawing the lines like the detectives do in those really bad TV shows where they have the corkboard and the yarn strings and the pictures, right? All of this has got Tara's face in the middle of it. So you have this felon over here and this felon over here and this guy over here that had illegal sex with this patient and these felons over here that were illegally billing Medicare and Medicaid and this felon over here who's running a nonprofit that has no actual literal trail of anything besides taking $30,000. And by the way, Tara was down there a month before in Vegas. Now, I'm not making an accusation, but I will tell you what, in my opinion, this is mine and mine alone. Tara, you can spell my name KEVINCHAMBEERS. Put that in your paperwork. It does not require a rocket scientist to go $30,000 to a friend of hers where there's social media contacts of them going and traveling together all over the country, right? Where they do things together in Vegas and they hang out together, and the money goes to him and his nonprofit that doesn't have any operating revenue, that doesn't allow any kind of donations, that doesn't do anything in the community, that doesn't seem to have a footprint anywhere. And she was just in Vegas the month before.
That doesn't look great.
What happened to the $30,000? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to ask the question. I'm not accusing, but it's a valid question to ask, which she won't answer because she's terrified of the question. No, but I need to ask it.
But you don't have to ask a question. All you have to do is make an observation and say that does not look good.
Where'd the money go?
Well, I mean, you can ask.
Why
just
donate
make the observation?
Why donate it to a nonprofit with no footprint of doing anything?
I've never seen, but has she ever explained why she made that donation?
No, she's not going to.
Oh.
She
might
did.
help a little
Well,
bit,
she did issue a statement. Hold on, I'll read part of this statement that she issued. Because there is in the, again, we can share all this with all of you if you want to. Send me a Facebook message. Tara, if you'd like to come on the show and answer questions about this, we'd love to have you. Like, we'll be respectful. You will not be called to see you next Tuesday. I promise you. No. But Tara did. I'm scrolling back in this. This document is so massive. There's so much dirt on here. So here's what she replied back in January about some of the allegations against her. Quote, I'm concerned this may be motivated by a narrow political interest given its timing during the beginning of legislative session without any facts that allege an actual violations. Donations to nonprofit using campaign surplus funds are allowable. As a representative of my district, I fight for our community's values of social justice and criminal justice reform, both at Olympia and across the nation, where these are also efforts to lower barriers to working in public service. Tara, your $30,000 went somewhere that isn't doing anything to do anything about anything. That $30,000 could have gone to the Kitsap County Human Rights Council. That $30,000 could have gone to the United Way.
Well,
that $30,000 could have gone to a number of Washington state-based, in your 23rd district-based nonprofits that could have helped people
like
in your own
banks.
That $30,000 could have funded some. You could have started your own nonprofit, Tara. Of, you know what? These are some people.
Kevin, I love
Hold
you,
on.
but I think
These
you're
are-
going off on a tangent here.
No, hold on. These are some people in my district that deserve to have their prior criminal convictions wiped off their
You're
record,
right.
like
That is
I
absolutely
got,
true.
like I got mine wiped off. So why don't I donate that to those, so that those people that are in poverty because of their felonies and can't get jobs, I can help them rise up out of poverty the same way people helped me rise up out of poverty. And instead, your selfish ass sent it to a buddy in Las Vegas.
Some fucked up shit.
And by the way, you also put your boyfriend in a nonprofit and then funneled legislative money to that nonprofit. I mean, it goes
Well,
and goes.
listen, and after we're done interviewing Tawnee, we'll get back to this because
love
there's
Tawnee,
a
by
lot
the way.
more to get into on this. Like how the different nonprofits, and yes, trust me, there are multiple, including one now here in Washington with Tara. We're going to get into that later when we come back. But I think it's really important to take a moment and note, because a ton of questions have been asked. You've heard people talk online about the text message, the text stream between Tara and Daria. And I think it's important to put that information out, and I'm going to read it verbatim. It's not very long. Just take me a minute. But again, it's important to understand there's a mentality that goes with the behavior.
It's a victim mentality, and it's fucking bullshit. And at some point, little girl, you're going to have to grow up and lose that mentality, or you are never going to escalate in life.
She's in her 40s too, isn't she? I think.
Well, she's younger than me.
And
I mean,
after
come
you
on.
read this, I
Oh,
have a
she's
list
not?
of names. I have a list of names I'm going to call out publicly of the people on the north end that are right, line and sinker, hook, line, and just the whole deal with Tara. And I'm going to call each of you out individually. So if you're listening, remember my name. Go ahead, Paul.
Yes, his name is Kevin.
That's right.
He works for KBRO. And
KBRO.
He's never been married, never had a girlfriend.
No
I have
kids.
no kids.
No kids.
I'm a virgin.
All right. So
That's not true. They found my virginity in the bottom of the Snohomish River in a burnt out van. But go ahead.
don't even know where you were going with that, brother. That's a little bit creepy. All right. So
that's a lot of
December 17th of 2025. These text messages, as I'm reading them, and I will tell you before I get to Daria's response, but here's the text messages that came into him. And I quote, "Hey, Daria, so I had absolutely no clue until Monday night that you are running against me. Is this true? I had a big hearing yesterday and now on a plane. I couldn't even think of that while I was in the zone prepping for my client. But spent all night talking to folks and thought, I guess I should ask you. I would personally hope you'd challenge one of the men instead, as our district deserves some diversity in gender, race, geographical location, socioeconomic status, and lived experience. Anyways, I do hope that it's just an awful rumor because it would be disappointing considering all the other work I had planned on doing for our district instead of spending all of my time beating you." Here's Daria's response. "Hey, thanks for reaching out and for asking me directly. I know how intense hearings can be, and I hope yesterday went well. I want to be clear and respectful here. I haven't announced anything and was planning to talk with you in person when we meet this weekend because I respect you and what?
Sorry, I didn't mean
What?
to hit you.
Oh.
I was trying to get Kevin's attention.
I want to be clear and respectful here. I haven't announced anything and was planning to talk with you in person when we meet this weekend because I respect you and your service. I hear what you're saying about representation and lived experience, and I take that seriously. For me, this isn't about running against anyone, but about thoughtfully considering how I could best serve the whole district. I value the chance to sit down, listen, and talk this through thoroughly when we connect this Saturday." Tara Simmons responds, "Okay, if you want to move up that talk to today, I'm happy to do so. Because I have now turned my full-time work to this situation, which is also my purpose, all caps, in life. Drew McEwen," who's she talking about there, "is open to talking to you as well. Let me know because it's coming to me from several..."
Not McEwen. He's a Republican.
Drew Hansen.
Yeah, Drew Hansen.
Yeah, thank you for the correction.
Well, it'd be funny if it was Drew McEwen. Okay.
Drew Hansen is open to talking to you as well. Let me know because it's coming to me from several sources already. Several of us think that based on your passions, including being a father, the county commissioner role is best suited for you. Anyways, let me know if you can talk sooner. I just landed and be settled in 2 hours max." Daria responds, "Thanks, Tara. I appreciate the flexibility and glad you arrived safely. I'm comfortable keeping our conversation to the time we already set this weekend and talking directly then. I appreciate the confidence in the county commissioner role and the shared passion on serving the community."
He is so gracious, man. Seriously.
Rep Simmons responds, "Okay, I will just proceed accordingly because I'm obviously going to work my
Okay, but
butt
you're
off."
reading it in a tone that may not be hers. So when you're hearing this, audience, please just use a monotone voice in your ears so it doesn't come off judgy.
No, I'm using my ESP.
You
I
are
know exactly
judgy.
how she made
You
it.
are coming off I know.
I thought Paul had kind of a monotone voice to begin with, but go ahead.
So Tara responds, "Okay." I'm sorry, I got to read it like the professor says. "Okay, well, I will just proceed accordingly because I'm obviously going to work my butt off to retain the position. I wish I'd known earlier. I thought we were having coffee for more firearms talk. I'm not going to expand on that, but y'all can do your own."
No, he was the one that took her to the firearms training.
Yeah.
He was the one that photo of her shooting guns.
That was his gun.
Was with Daria.
That was Daria's. That was Daria's firearm.
Wasn't there like an illegal piece in it or something?
No, but there was a piece that was in the legislation they were trying to
Yeah,
get
they were
outlawed.
trying to push through.
Yeah.
And she's
No.
posing with it.
By the
Like,
way, Supreme Court has made sure to knock that down now. So, okay.
Right, and
Moving on.
it's he was well. I mean,
I'm not
Supreme
blaming
Court,
Daria.
Yeah, no. He,
Yeah,
I mean, his
I mean,
grandfather did, and
yeah.
that's like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what I might be maybe
I
with
see,
with
okay.
something that I have that might maybe be prior to
you
some
lost in a
stupid
boat,
laws.
boat accident, so we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Daria finished with the role and shared passion on serving the community. So Tara Simmons responds, "Okay, well, I will just proceed accordingly because I'm obviously going to work my butt off to retain the position. I wish I'd known earlier. I thought we were having coffee for more firearm talk. Gave Drew and Leonard your number as well. Hopefully you can be open to hearing some things you may not have considered.
Your fucking entitlement is off the charts, woman.
Well. So Tara continues.
Fuck! It just makes me so mad. You work for us. You work for us. All of us, Democrats, independents, Republicans, the far left like you, the far right like that's going crazy right now too. Okay? We are your people and you work for us. And, well, the 23rd, not for me, but
Can I continue?
I'm getting, God, you're just,
okay.
oh,
It's okay.
God.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I'm
Tom,
sorry.
Can you give her a value?
Beeler,
I don't have any value.
Beeler,
I'm sorry.
Beeler, I have never loved you more than I love you right this second. I mean, I've loved you before, but never this much.
Kevin's pitching a 10 over here. All right. So I know Drew called you. Christine is in no way endorsing you. Unfortunately, Leonard is out on medical right now, but I've talked to his number 2, and he will call as soon as he is available.
By the way, Leonard is, I believe that she's referring to Leonard Forsman, who's with the Suquamish tribe.
Yeah, I believe so. Unfortunately, I said that. Leonard is okay. The Port Gamble Sklallam tribe will call you. If Bob Ferguson calls you, will you stop doing this? Because I worked my ass off for our district. I'm a great legislator, and you're really ruining the only time I've had with my mother since I was 13 years old. But you want me to wait until Saturday, which is complete bullshit, when you should have told me well over a month ago.
And I will remind you that
Why
early,
does he have any obligation to tell you fucking anything, woman?
and he said earlier, he had planned to talk to her about it, and he hadn't announced anything.
He hadn't announced yet.
This is a petulant, spoiled 3-year-old that doesn't want to wait till Christmas morning to open their presents. This is a child, exactly.
But she is older than me, so I'm
And
sorry I
then-
called you
In
young
her defense,
lady.
you guys stop.
Really, I'm sorry I called you
She was spending time
young
with her
lady.
mother. She hadn't done since she was 13. You guys are being jerks. Okay? Cut her some slack.
And then she busts out this is the only time I've had to spend with my mom. You know what, Tara? If you want to spend a lot of time with your mom,
Victim fucking mentality.
just wait till after you lose this election.
Fuck yeah, you'll have plenty
You'll
of
have
time.
plenty of time
Yep.
to spend with your mom.
You sure will.
You're assuming a lot. I will not assume that Daria is going to win this election. But
It's true.
I
We don't-
think
you never know.
listen, you guys are cute. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, Kevin's in a relationship. He
I
changed
know.
he changed his Facebook status. Stop trying to,
Adeline,
I'm so proud of you.
Adeline, best comment in the chat. Adeline said nothing like circumventing democracy. And by the way, do you know who Adeline is?
Yeah,
She was Tara's campaign manager.
She said she'd come on.
Yeah, we're going to have you on, Adeline. Reach out to me. We are going to have you on. So, do you know what I'm going to read these names really quick, but do you know what I've learned about Tara? She keeps people in her circle until they don't benefit her circle, and then she jettisons them and blocks them and treats them like monkey crap.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is what she'll do to your district when she leaves.
she did it to Outlaw Radio because as soon as we started questioning her finances, when stuff started popping up and those little red flags, that was when she called the show pissed
That's
off. And her first phrase to me was, "I thought we were friends."
Yeah.
You know what? We're not friends
not
with
here
anybody.
for you.
You know, it's like
No.
Well, we're friends with some people, but it's not going to keep us from asking the questions. Like the fact that Tara, listen, I know you're listening. I know you're out there. It's okay, Tara. Listen. All you have when we ask the questions,
That was fucking tight.
when we said we had questions about the finances and where the money was coming from and where it was going, all you had to do was come on the show, and you could have lied to us for all we know. You could have came in and said, I had a whole bunch of money in savings. I hit the lottery in Mexico. Well, you could have said a number of things. Instead, you do what guilty people do. You overreacted, you avoided, and you blocked. That's what guilty people do. That's what a guy does when he's cheating on his girlfriend and gets caught. How would I know? Because I've only done it 1,000 times. You're acting like a guilty person. That's why everybody's got the hair on the back of their neck up. It's not because of all of this. It's because of how you're reacting to all of this. It tells us that there's a problem. Really quickly, some names.
And then we should take a break and we'll
Yes, and then we'll take a break and we'll bring our guest in. So, really quickly, here's some names. And I feel like since you guys want to, attack us as being a right-wing hate monger show, which we're obviously not, dummies, and go after some of the comments we've seen, especially on the Bainbridge thread about how Daria's got to be a horrible dad because Beeler used the "see you next Tuesday." Like, going after people personally, especially Daria, because of what Beeler said. Shut your hole. Anyway, so I just want to call you out by name. So Carolyn Zimmer is on the executive board for the 23rd. My name is Kevin. Nice to meet you. Let me know if you'd like to come on the show or if you're too chicken crap to do it. Doug McKinley, he's an attorney. Sue me. And he represented a Territor Ethics Board hearing. He's another one that attempted to just get his nose all in the muck without knowing what he's talking about. Harley Payton. How about Terry Schumacher? She's the Paulsbo Pride on the executive board. How about Chance Corey? He was removed from the executive board, by the way. Chuck, I'm going to mispronounce this dude's name. Chuck Pirtle. He's the current president of the Kitsap Central Labor Union. And then Nan Houston, who's just a really vocal supporter. You guys can post all the things you want to in social media. That's okay. It's not. You don't get some level of privacy to say the mean, hateful things that you want to say and then not expect to be called out for it. And you can say what you want to online and then turn off commenting. The commenting on this show never turns off. We'll never turn off chat. We'll never turn out the comments. We'll always let people say what they want to, unless your name is Holly and you're just a mean, hateful, spiteful person. Everybody else, it's going to stay open forever. So you guys say what you want to. It's all public. And so is this. And I'm going to remember every single one of you. And if I get dirt on you guys, we will lead on this show and we'll beat it into the ground. I am done playing with you sons of bitches. All right, we're going to take a break. We are going to play a commercial. We're doing a little commercial segment in here because I got to give Tawnee some cover. Tawnee is not part and parcel of this. She has nothing to do with this. She's not part of it. She can say what she wants to when she comes on, but I'm not going to set her up in a way that we go right to her and then people are like, look, Tawnee loves you guys and all the mean things you say about Tara. We're not going to do that. She can say what she wants to, but I'm going to put a buffer in there first. So we'll take a 90-second break. When we come back, Tawnee Cowan's going to join us. If you think that the North End is the only one with some dysfunction, well, we're going to talk about the South End, and that's where a lot of us live.
Yeah.
And so we'll talk about that when we come back. It is the Outlaw Radio Network, outlawradionetwork.com. If you love the show, share the show. Tell all your friends. Let everybody know.
Turn us into the FCC.
Yeah, please turn us into the FCC. We're back after this. It's Outlaw Radio. Stick around.
Regulation.
More of the show after a really quick break. Oh, by the way, we're not done talking about you, Tara. So after Tawnee, we're going to come back and talk about you some more. So don't think we forgot about you, and don't think we're done, because we're not done yet. We're back after this. Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance, Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Rain Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Rain Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Rain Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional.
inside is so frustrating as I drift from town to town. Feel as though nobody cares if I live or die. So I might as well begin to put some action in my life. Breaking the law, breaking the law. 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 So much for the golden future, I can't even start. I've had every promise broken, there's anger in my heart. You don't know what it's like, you don't have a clue. If you did, you'd find yourself doing the same thing too, yeah. Breaking the law, breaking the law, yeah. Breaking the law, breaking the law, yeah. Breaking the law, breaking the law. You don't know what it's like. Breaking the law, 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 breaking the law. I need somebody help, not just anybody help. You know I need someone help.
All right, Outlaw Radio, we are back. Your guys' mics are hot, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I just turned them on, just so you know.
Thanks.
All right, Outlaw Radio. Thanks for being a part of the show tonight. If you are
There we are then.
If you're a fan of the show, please share it. Please tell your friends. Share. I want to see multiple share requests. Share the show around. Tell all your peeps. If you hate the show, share the show. Please do. Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let everybody know. We're about to be joined.
Yeah, present the evidence.
If you want to talk to us for a sec, will you?
What am I going to talk about?
I have no idea.
Hey,
Oh, we could talk about our sponsor.
we could talk about our sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Destination Highway 420.
I love those guys.
I love those guys too. They have the best staff there.
You know, I have one problem with them.
What's that?
I have to take an hour out of my day to get there.
Oh,
So I
buddy.
have to like plan my trips. It's kind of a pain in the ass.
I just wet all
I
over
love
myself.
going in there. I have discovered so many new strains, like just by going, hey, buddy, give me your favorites.
Yes.
And I actually found my favorite strain. I'm not going to say what it is because last time it sold out really fast and it hasn't been started to grow again yet. I really said
You're
that
not
wrong.
talking about Bill Murray.
I'm
are you?
talking about, I'm going to beat you.
Hey, Tom, did you have you mopped this floor in a while?
Is it sticky?
Because I just did. I just spilled juice all over myself.
Oh, no.
It literally was like I wet myself.
A couple of towels.
Paul, grab me one. If you could grab me one more, I'm going to need it.
I have a couple bar towels. I'll be right
That
back.
sucks, Kevin. That is awful.
I'm
Anyways, they have the best staff in there. You
I'm
should
so-
get on down. They are on Hollis Street in East Bremerton. They have everything you could possibly need. And with the hot weather that's coming back up, they even have some popsicles
If you're wondering where
and
Hollis
some
Street
cream
is, it's right-
sodas that you can make like floats out of. It's really
that sounds
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Hollis Street is right next to what bar?
Cloverleaf.
That's right.
Yeah.
By the way,
Los Cabos.
I've never really considered doing weed. Right, that's just not my thing.
Yeah.
Right, but a root beer float might be enough to convince me. That might be.
Are you shitting?
Yeah, they have sodas
it might,
there.
it might be. It might.
They
10 years.
They have them.
I can get you some infused vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's more about the root beer than
Can
the
you
ice
get me some of that? Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna make a banana split with that shit.
All right. So we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna bring on the camera Miss Tawnee Cowan, who is a longtime Facebook friend. Never met you in person before, but good to see you, Tawnee. How are you? Oh, hold on.
Doing
There you go.
There you go.
I wish it were a little bit more summer, not so much.
Yeah, it's cold
rainy
today,
and
right?
cold outside.
Yeah. Well, it's Whaling Day's fault the weather's like it is.
Right.
Yeah.
The theme of Whaling Days this year was Christmas in July, so Mother Nature decided to help out.
Go figure.
Yeah.
No.
So
one Christmas a year is plenty.
the whole dude was glorious. There were
One
Santas,
a
there was
year
Krumpuses.
is
It was
plenty.
great. Paul.
Yep.
You are far more in tune to this than I am. So
Well,
I'm
sort of not really exactly. So the reason Tawny and I started talking about her coming on is because she started discussing what's going on in the Port Orchard City Council. Tawny really caught my attention. Now I don't want to pretend like I am up on the internal workings of the Port Orchard City Council because I live in third world country of Belfair. But if you could fill the listeners in on this juicy story going on in Port Orchard within the city council, the floor is yours, dear. Just take it away.
Okay. I actually live outside the city limits, but Port Orchard address, right?
Sure.
I'm in the 35th comfortably. But I run this group called Port Orchard Politics. We need a place where we could have a conversation. So after the 2024 election, where a lot of the people that I had met and I was doing pictures of journalism, and I went ahead and got my credentials as a journalist.
Yeah, because you are an actual journalist. We are not,
Yes.
as we've said for years. We're just commentators.
Right.
She is a real journalist. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got my credentials because they didn't want to let me in, or they didn't want to let me have my camera at the Hansville pie meat thing. And I was pretty upset because they let everybody else take out their cell phones. They wouldn't even let me use my cell phone.
Oh
I
my
was just like,
gosh.
So just so I understand what you're saying, it was a pie contest.
or it was a pie. It was a candidate thing.
Oh, it was a candidate deal.
Yeah.
All the way up in what? Point No Point,
Hansville.
Kingston, Hansville?
Yeah.
Okay. And that pissed you off to the point where you said, F those guys, I'm going to get my journalism degree.
No, I already have my master's.
Okay.
I just need to get credentialed.
Okay.
So you buy into the union and you start paying your union dues and
Gotcha.
you get certified.
We're not credentialed.
So, but I started the Port Orchard Politics group to focus on local because
Yeah.
we can't do anything about what's happening in DC.
Right.
We can barely do anything about what's happening in Olympia.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
But it was more about getting everybody in town, no matter what their party was, to sit at the table. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that, aren't ready to do that. So we had to lock the group down. And now we're about 515 members strong.
Good.
Local community,
That's awesome.
of people getting informed about the bills in Olympia, stuff going on with the county, like the burn bans, all kinds of stuff.
Which is
right?
important stuff that people don't think about.
And
Yeah.
so we just want to keep everybody engaged civically in between elections because that's where the real stuff happens.
Absolutely. It's where the meat meets the potatoes.
So in that, I joined the Libertarian Party on the 4th of July. Because then I can
Tom loves you already.
then I get to pick the candidates from wherever they are, as long as they have principles, right?
Yeah.
And we run the group on having principles. So fast
And again, you're
forward
talking about
to
the Facebook group Port Orchard Politics.
Port Orchard Politics.
Yeah.
Yep. AKA
Which is a great
Pop.
group. As soon as she invited me to the group, I think it was about a year ago or so. But yeah, they actually engage in real dialogue about issues. It's not just F you, screw you, and
Yeah.
see you next Tuesday. Sorry.
No memes.
There we
Make
are
people
then.
be respectful.
Yeah.
And actually just really get in there and talk about where we can move as a community.
It's a good group for all of you listening. If you want to really dig deep into Port Orchard politics,
or even Kitsap. We do all of Kitsap.
There you go.
know,
Okay.
we try to get all the candidates, to interview. The last election, I did all of the people going for the South Kitsap Fire and Rescue Commissioners, that kind of thing. Just
it was great
getting
information.
people up. So,
Yep.
So that brings us to, I only show up to city council meetings when they're being naughty.
So every other
and
Tuesday?
right now,
They're being
naughty.
Oh.
Really, really
Spill
bad.
the tea. Spill the tea, Tawny.
I want to preface it to say that I don't want this to be an attack on any single council member, but
We
on
will
the
try.
process.
We will try.
And the reason it's important is because the process was illegal. They just, there was just a resignation of council member Fenton.
Okay.
Back up a little bit. The OPMA, which is the law that the Open Public Meeting Act says that you cannot do action in executive session. You can talk about investigations. You can talk about things that you can't put out into
Pay,
the
stuff like
public
that, yeah.
stuff, but you cannot have any action, right? Especially a resignation. It has to be done in the public
So
because
you're
these are
saying
elected.
that Fenton resigned during executive session? Okay.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
They're
I
saying
got you.
that-
You're saying it, but not saying it. Okay.
Okay. So, June 16th, they called an executive session to talk about an investigation into some of the actions of Heidi Fenton.
Yes.
By their own admission, they're unadjudicated allegations. Some having to do with alcohol, one having to do with what had happened on the 11th at the Gibbons Community Center meeting. She apparently reached out and touched a community member of city workers' arm in front of their son. So she's Heidi Fenton is one of those that when you see her and she talks to you, she puts her hand on you, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but we don't
That's why I'm
really
saying, what? What's
we,
the deal?
we don't really know. We don't really know more.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So then they hold a work study session on the 16th. They go from the work study session to the executive session. This is where things get crazy. So in the executive session, Heidi was left out of the first part of the executive session. Shira Dedman was in there, Scott Diener, Trineri, John Morrissey, Eric Warden, and Charlotte Archer, which is the city attorney.
Okay.
I also understand that there was an HR director there and the police chief at the first part of that meeting.
The executive session?
The
Okay.
executive session.
Gotcha.
Now, in that executive session, they went in and they said, okay, we're going to be having possibly an investigation. And then at some point right after that was stated what the allegations were, Trineri said, well, she should resign. So then Shira got pretty upset because you cannot do an action in executive session. It has to be in the open public. And Shira is brand new, right? She's not schooled so much on Robert's Rules of Order and things like that. She kind of has this anxiety about getting things out. She's working on that by her own admission, right?
Sounds like she's fairly honest.
But yeah, she totally owns it. But she felt like that the executive session was illegal, so she left because she can't participate in an illegal meeting. That's what you're supposed to do. So she left the meeting. Well, apparently so did the HR director and the police chief. So then Heidi goes in and she had heard wind of what was going on. So she had retained an attorney, Chalmers Johnson. She went in, Chalmers had instructed her to say, I welcome an investigation. I have an attorney. So she went in and said that. By all accounts, she said she did not want to resign twice. More to that account, one of the council members said, you don't have to resign. No one can make you resign 3 times. Okay. So then something happens. She says, F it, I resign. so she could get, well, let me back up. She asked if she could have a day or two to think about what's going on. And she was told no, it had to be that night. It had to be in that executive session.
They told her she needed to decide if she was going to resign or not.
Yep. In that executive session. Even though she had already said, no, I do not want to. No, I do not.
Peer
right?
pressure at its best.
So then she's like, F it, I resign. F it, I resign. Apparently she said it twice. I found out this from the city council meeting. So that ended the executive session. After an executive session, it has to immediately go into a public meeting, right? In the public meeting, they didn't talk about the investigation. They didn't talk about the resignation. They just ended the public meeting. So nobody knew,
So
right?
so basically they brought it back to order. There was nobody there and they just, okay, we're done.
Yep. Okay. So then they called a special meeting for the 18th. Okay. On the 18th, they go in, they move it to different rooms within that because they couldn't get order or something.
How does the meeting on the 18th, how was that classified? Was that an
It was an open public meeting. It was already
Okay.
announced that it would be going, and they were doing that to handle the resignation of Heidi Fenton.
Which had happened in an executive session, which isn't legitimate.
Right.
Gotcha.
So on the 17th, the day after the executive session, the city attorney reached out to her and said, I need your letter of resignation. She wrote back, I did not resign. That morning after the executive session.
Technically, yeah, that would be correct.
And
because
she
couldn't do
said,
that in
and then
executive
she
session.
said, I've got an attorney. Well, and I've gotten all that information from the attorney. I got the emails. Charlotte Archer then got in touch with her attorney, said, oh, I didn't know she had an attorney, which we know to not be true. But anyway, so they go back and forth, and then the meeting on the 18th happened, online. We can pull it up. In that, they waived privilege of the executive session. The only problem is you can't waive privilege of an executive session. You don't have any witnesses. You don't have any recordings. You don't have anything about an executive session. It's basically their word against hers. That's why it has to be an open public meeting.
Yeah, it's transparency.
Yep. And it's up to the people to remove the person they elected. It is not up to people in private to decide that.
Especially people in power.
Right. Exactly. So here we are now. Everybody packed the room on the 14th of this month. And everybody told, first Heidi got up, she went to the dais. She's like, I did not resign. The mayor made her leave the dais. So then she went to the crowd, sat in the crowd. We all sat back because we knew she was going to speak first. She got to tell her side of it. And then, other people got up. There's a situation with a retired judge being sexually inappropriate with the women who are vendors at the farmers market. They were there. They were pretty upset that nobody's doing anything about that. And then a lot of us spoke to what's going on with this situation. In that meeting, it was very interesting because they wanted to censure Shira Dedman again. And they wanted to censure Shira Dedman because she went against the council. She wrote what happened. She wrote, what it was from her point of view. And she also brought Heidi's story and her thing to the forefront, and so they wanted to punish her. Well, in that meeting, Rosa Pepe says, let's break and go to executive session so we can censure her. And she's like, oh no, censor me in public. Come on, let's do this in public. And they're like, they voted against censoring her in that meeting. So then fast forward to the meeting this last week, the work study, when no one's watching, they decide to bring that back because someone who voted against it the first time around can bring it up the next meeting and censure. So then what did they all do? They all blamed her because of the public not trusting them about the resignation of Heidi Fenton.
So they blamed the messenger for telling the truth about a situation instead of taking their own level of accountability.
That is exactly what that looks like. So, and they're like, oh no, this is legal. And you guys don't know the OPMA and all this. The OPMA is pretty black and white, you know? And then they're like, well, the MSRC, am I saying that right, Annie?
Yes.
The MSRC allows it. Well, the MSRC is only guidelines. It's not law.
Gotcha.
Okay. I've reached out to Travis Couture so that we can have the law changed, that the only way that they can resign is if it's in writing, because there doesn't need to be this, they said it, because the city attorney says, well, Monroe versus Paulsbo. In Monroe versus Paulsbo, that resignation happened in a public meeting. They said, I quit. They handed in their laptop. They did everything. And then, they had regrets about it. And so they wanted to take it back. And the judge was like, no backsies. That's
right.
Open public meeting. You resigned.
But isn't there some culpability as well that they tried to tell her in the private meeting, you have to decide right now, are you resigning or are you not? Like, I don't know why the council would even have that jurisdiction to even try to imply that she had to make a decision in that moment.
Right. And they're saying that they didn't. They said that Heidi just decided she wanted to resign all on her own because she didn't want a public investigation.
It sounds to me, Tawnee, and I've only lived in Port Orchard since 2020, and I don't live in the city limits like you. I'm on the outskirts. But it seemed to me, as long as I lived in Kitsap, and especially the last 6 years, that the city government within Port Orchard is really immature. Like the infighting that happens, the immovability of the council. I'm not really sure what Patansu's doing as mayor.
I don't think anybody knows.
There's no, but it just doesn't feel like I don't necessarily agree with what like Bremerton does as a city council, but it feels like they're behaving like a city council. They might make some bonehead stupid decisions. Port Orchard feels like it's this popularity contest in 10th grade. Who's going to make the ASB list, right? Like who's going to be our ASB treasurer? And it feels really juvenile. And then it helps you understand why Port Orchard's in the position that it's in. Yeah. Why is downtown Port Orchard struggling so bad? Certainly shouldn't be. They're not charging for parking downtown, unlike some other cities in Kitsap.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Port Orchard should be like a glowing example of Kitsap. And instead their leadership can't get out of the way, and they're befuddled. They're so confused.
Well, so I think that in a lot of ways we were building a dream team with the city council, It breaks my heart that this is going on because like I adore some of our members of our city council. I find them to be outstanding people, and I feel like they are just, my opinion.
Yes, your opinion.
My opinion is that the mayor did not want to get his hands dirty. And so he let this fall on 5 men. Now, 2 of them, I feel like, are his posse. And then there are 2 of them that I feel like are outstanding men that really thought they were doing the right thing, and that the city attorney gave them bad information. Now, why did the city attorney give them bad information? Well, I got my own opinions. I really don't have any facts to base that on, but I do think that she was doing the bidding of the mayor. And the mayor would like to not have any competition when it's time for his reelection. But we got a couple of city council members that would actually make a good mayor. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that it's like everybody, let's go ahead and tarnish these people kind of thing. And that's just my gut instinct, because it doesn't make sense on why the city attorney, knowing the OPMA, knowing what it says about you can't do action in executive session, and yet told them that they could. Yeah. And then also they knew that that resignation wasn't right. Otherwise, why would she ask for a letter of resignation? And then on top of that, their claim is that she resigned so that there wouldn't be a public investigation about alcohol use. And yet their letter that they wrote and put on the Facebook literally says that she had an alcohol problem, even though the allegations are unadjudicated. So they're already ruining her reputation.
That's super messed
You
up.
know,
I'm just hearing you talk about this. I feel like part of it has to be the culture too, right? I mean, if you're on the council, she's been either resigned or bounced, depending how you interpret what happened, right? The other council member is now being censored because how dare she speak out against it? So the rest of the council is going to team up on her. If I'm on the council, I have to make a decision. Is this a hill I'm going to die on? Because if I go against the rest of the council, I'm next in line to go before the public firing squad.
Yeah.
It certainly seems like a dirty, icky, corrupt culture that no matter how good you are as a city councilman, you have to make the decision. Is this where I'm going to rest my political hill, or am I just going to have to, wait and pick another battle later?
Right. Well, Heidi Fenton had filed a complaint against the mayor for discrimination. And that's also a time when I was part of going in and speaking to them, because he outwardly shows his disdain for women. I mean, outwardly. Like, I don't know very many women in the community that feel like the mayor is not a misogynist. But so on that complaint,
that's an interesting claim.
On that complaint, it was found that he needed to make a public apology to Heidi Fenton in a council meeting. Well, guess what? He never did.
Oh.
And you know what? Nobody made him. They didn't censure him. Whereas everybody's sticking up for that. But the bigger thing for me is that they're trying to fill that vacancy. They've got applicants coming in. They're going to start doing interviews on August 4th. They have to fill it by September 12th. What we need as a community is we need a judge to rule whether or not that was a legal vacancy. And anything less than that is wrong. But the city says, oh, well, we're right. Well, then go take it in front of a judge and get a judge to back that up.
Can't somebody do that? I mean, can't somebody?
It's in when I checked that out online, either the prosecuting attorney can do it or Heidi Fenton.
Yeah, it has to be somebody that's standing.
Yeah, or even a community member, but I don't live in the city limits. Otherwise, I would.
Mm-hmm.
The filing on an OPMA violation to get it in front of a judge, I think it's like $300 or something. But you also have to have it written in a way that a judge is going to accept that. And I don't know how to do that.
Right.
I'm just a journalist that is volunteering. I don't even, do that kind of thing. So again, Tuesday, we have another city council meeting. There's 3 a month. I want people in the community to get out there, get to that city council member meeting and tell them that they need to get it in front of a judge. Anything less does not rebuild the trust, and they can't blame Shira Dedman. They just can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's not her fault that they accepted a resignation or pushed a resignation or whatever in executive session. She did what she was supposed to do. She believed it to be unlawful, so she left.
Yeah.
And, they're like, no, she left because she was being censored in there. She left because we wouldn't let her talk. Well, whatever reason, she left because it was illegal. And what she says her reason is matters, just like what they say their reason for accepting it or what they say their reason for participating matters. I love Eric Gordon 100%.
We've had him on.
I love John Morrissey 100%. And I find them to be outstanding council members that, really, really try to do things right and really do try to help the community, and I feel like they were given bad advice. And I feel like I don't want.
Have they said that?
Huh?
Have they said that?
They said it. Well, they said that they went on the advice of the city attorney. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And they feel like, because the city attorney is the one that's a lawyer. They're not lawyers.
Right.
They feel like that they needed to take that. And here's the thing. I've asked, if you find out you're wrong about this, are you going to apologize? And both of them said 100%.
So
okay, something's nagging my brain though, just real quick.
Go ahead.
Back to the arm thing, because my brain is
right.
I've been sitting here like, what is going on? It's nagging me. She touched the employee's arm in front of his kid. There was nothing else happening. There was no alcohol involved. There was nothing else.
As far as from the PRAs that I've gotten back so far, the only PRA that I've gotten back right now that deals with what was said in executive session is from Miss Dedman's notes. And on that, it said that that it seemed like she was angry, that had to deal with some kind of like bike fix or bike pumps or something like that. And that that the employee wanted a public apology from her and possibly anger management.
Well, she must have. I mean, where does that come from?
Right.
I know the guys at the city of Port Orchard. I think that's why that's bugging my brain. I used to.
Well, there's no paper trail for any of this.
Okay.
There's no, I haven't seen a complaint. I've asked for PRAs. I've gotten videos. I've gotten a few things from it. I haven't gotten all the things from it to know. But what I do know is that there's no investigations.
So there were, if I understand correctly, there were 2 women on the city council and 5 men. Is that correct?
Yes.
So now we have 1 woman and 5 men.
Yeah, and from what I understand, word on the street is they are trying to put another female in there.
I've never heard that before.
I got my thoughts about that one too. The female in question, I think, was going to be running possibly for a commissioner position when it comes around, but it might be, hearsay, the stuff that comes into my inboxes. It might be that the mayor wants to run for commissioner. So if they put her in that position, then she's no longer running for commissioner.
Oh my gosh.
So then the mayor might. So, but that's all.
Collusion.
But that's but none of that has come to pass.
Sure.
That's just the messages coming to me.
Here's what I'm going to say about that. He's already fucked up Port Orchard a little bit. Can we not take it to the county level?
Right.
Please.
Right.
Wait,
I
you say
agree.
Take the mayor, Rob, and put him at the county level to fuck up the county.
I heard through the grapevine. It hasn't been verified. I just heard, I have my anonymous sources.
Yeah.
My anonymous sources have told me that he's eyeing the commissioner position. Now, if the woman whose name has been floated around, apparently, the rumor is that they've known since they opened up the application process that that's who they were going to put in there. I've been hearing her.
That's not fair at all.
It's not. And if that's the case, it's definitely not. But again, it's all rumor. It's just stuff coming into my inbox. It'll be interesting to see who the applicants are and if she's one of them. But I heard, she wanted to run for commissioner, and she sounds like a great lady to be a commissioner. I don't know, Hanny could probably answer this. I think the person we're talking about is an actual Democrat, right?
The person who's taking the seat.
The one that we heard that we saw.
Yeah, I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to point out, for those of you that are listening for the fireworks on the Simmons Files, we have not once brought up whether somebody's a Democrat or Republican or anything even remotely close to that, because we don't care. That's not what this issue is about. So,
Right.
Well, they're nonpartisan anyway, so.
Well,
Yeah.
they say that, right? But I mean, I think we all know different. But like, it doesn't matter. That's
Right.
that's my only point.
Right. And it really shouldn't matter at all, but in the sense of, I think that one, they shouldn't already have rumors out about who is going to be picked for that position.
Yeah, rumors come from somewhere.
Yep. And the connecting the dots on that, like, our mayor is not liked. He's really not liked. So I do
haven't
think
liked him since COVID. So I get you.
I think his time is limited.
If he ran against Orrin Root for the commissioner spot, Orrin would beat him about the head and chest.
Yep.
Like proverbially, not literally. Although Orrin could do it literally too, but proverbially, it would be a
Is Orrin
disaster.
not running again?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know any of that. No, I
He
just
would be
know that.
so dumb to go up against Orrin. That is the stupidest fucking thing I've heard all night, except for all this Tara bullshit.
Right, well, we can talk
Oh
about
yeah,
the-
I
we
don't.
can talk
I
about
don't
the
know
work
at
stuff.
all on that
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as that goes.
We've only talked about 2 things tonight. So
Right.
That was a lot of shit we talked about with Tara.
Tawny-
though.
Yeah, and
Tawny-
we got a full dance card.
Yeah,
so.
we gotta get. Yeah.
Tawny, let me ask this question: If people, especially in Port Orchard proper, want to get their voices heard, how is the best way to do that? Should they show up at a council meeting and ask for time on the dais? Should they like what's the process for that?
Okay, so the best way to be heard by the council is to show up at the council meeting. You get 3 minutes. You know,
Kevin could never get through anything in 3 minutes.
Can you differ? Could I go up and I get 3 minutes, but I'm going to give my 3 minutes to Beeler, so now she has 6 minutes?
now you would think you could, but I know that they haven't done that. They've told people no before. But I also know that if you are passionate enough, even though that little red light's going off, you can, you know, it's happened. People don't stop speaking. They might turn off the microphone, but you can just talk really loud.
Yeah.
You know,
I might go. I might go.
But I do know that like one of the arguments that one of the community members had, I think it was last summer. I think it was about the cabaret licenses and stuff. There was a community member that was trying to speak, and their time ran out, and someone else tried to yield the time, and they wouldn't let them yield the time, even though there were only 3 people in the room. There was plenty of time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that Mayor the mayor sits there and he fiddles with himself and everything. He's just waiting to push the button. He's not listening to the community members. You can tell. And it's just
We've
so
heard that a lot.
frustrating.
The last year, 2 years.
Yeah,
from politicians.
Just
They're
go
just
in
not
there.
listening.
They're not listening. They're just waiting to push that buzzer to get rid of you.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, you've already elected me. I'm in charge.
And I don't know. I've never met Rob Patonsu. I've never been in a room with him. He seems very kind of elitist and exclusive, like from everybody else. Like he's somewhat removed himself.
He's the king of Port Orchard.
Yeah, but I will tell you this: like for me to gauge, right? How do I gauge things? He runs a whole bunch of departments in the city of Port Orchard, and those departments are not working well.
Nope.
We've talked on this show numerous times about permitting and about
terrible.
inspections and all of that. And listen, I'm not.
He blames the city employees that are
Of course he
green
does.
for that.
Of course he does, because listen, what a great way to be a leader than to blame your underlings for your mistakes. I love Brick Alley, okay, which is this really cool Lego shop down on Bay Street.
Yep.
And I love them. This is not a knock on them.
No.
But in no town in this state should a secondhand Lego store be able to afford to be on the main street on the waterfront in Washington. It just shouldn't be possible. It should be such a prime district
Oh, have you
where
seen what they
property
charge for
values
Legos down there?
but listen, where property values are so high and rent is so good, a secondhand store should not be able to exist there just because they don't have. Hold on, Tom. Just because they don't have the revenue to make that work, it should be a cash cow for the city. That downtown area is so bogus that you have closed up storefronts, old bars that are boarded up, and secondhand Lego stores down there. That tells me the economy in Port Orchard is not working.
There's a lot of antiques and stuff too that draw people in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and I'm not knocking the stores. I'm just saying from a financial standpoint, you should have businesses down there that can afford to pay buku rent.
I would agree with everything you're saying except for Brick Alley, because there is a Lego community that you would not believe. There is cash flow there.
And they sell on eBay, and
And they almost had super big problems on that, because when they moved to a bigger space, they couldn't get the permits to be able to fall under code.
I can't imagine that happening in Port
And
Orchard.
so here it's basically going to be like, they don't really fix up the buildings. They don't do any of this stuff, but they charge astronomical rents and the permits because they want to make it unattainable so that they can rip it all down and then build a bunch of condominiums.
Hold on a minute. Well, they have to get permits for a store. Hold on. I want you to think about the stupidity of this. You have to get permits for a store that sells fucking Legos.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. They're Legos, for God's sake. We're not selling food. We don't have a bakery. It's not a Mexican restaurant.
Kevin,
it's fucking Legos.
Kevin, have you ever stepped on a Lego in the middle of the night looking for the bathroom?
Yes, but I don't have to have a
way to
permit.
get worked up again. Let's get. Yeah.
I try not to swear on the show anymore.
It would be amazing.
Wouldn't deregulation be grand?
Let the libertarians talk, Kevin.
It would be amazing.
All right. Tawnee, would you please keep people posted? Keep putting stuff on the Porter True
she
Politics
does.
page.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for what you do. We love you. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
It's really good to meet you too.
Thank you. I would love to come back.
Yeah.
And
Oh, good, because we're
whenever Port Orchard is behaving badly or gets up, I will pretty much be writing about it. And
reach out to us anytime, and we'll get you back on.
I think we need to put her on payroll. You can make the same as the hosts on the
That's
show.
right.
Which is a big fat
just
goose
give
egg.
me some coffee.
Thank you so much, Tawnee.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you and appreciate the message. Thank you for getting it out.
Yeah,
tonight.
show up Tuesday night. We need people.
This Tuesday night, what time?
It's at 6:30.
At the Port Orchard City Hall.
Yep,
Most
it
beautiful
is.
building downtown.
We just, we need them to get it in front of a judge. If they believe that it's legal, then prove it.
Yeah, why it's so hard to get independent overview on it is just insane to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Tawnee.
Thank you, Tawnee.
Thank
very
you.
much. We appreciate
Thank you so much. All right. There goes Tawnee. So listen, the last thing I'm going to say about this Port Orchard nonsense, this is why, as much as I have ranked on what Paulsbo's doing for parking, paying to park on the waterfront, this is why Paulsbo has their ish together and Port Orchard does not.
Well,
Paulsbo was able to work through things, figure things out, make a decision. I don't have to agree with all their decisions, but
Right.
they're on the same page and they make decisions that make sense. I don't think they should charge for parking downtown, but I know why they are.
Yeah,
right.
You also have to factor in, I mean, the building owners and stuff too. Though, I mean, this is not entirely on the city government. The landlords, own the buildings,
Right.
And they have to be competitive in trying to get renters into their buildings because, as you observe, the economy is shit.
Yeah.
So,
but you know what? There's something when I go to Paulsbo once a month at least.
Okay.
There's something amazing about walking around downtown Paulsbo.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's walkable. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
The businesses are great.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're scraping the bottom barrel of some of these businesses that just needed to get into a space. You feel like you're really in a good spot for people to go down and spend time.
With all due respect, though, it's taken Paulsbo years to get to the point they're at now. When I was on the board of directors at the Marine Science Center, the Science Center gave an $80,000 no interest loan to the city for streetlights.
And
So
I mean-
it took time.
Yeah,
and that was a scandal in and of itself.
Yeah, and there are some pretty parts to downtown Port Orchard.
There
I
are.
mean, and there's more stuff coming, but it's not just on the city council.
But the only thing the city council's worried about downtown is that community center.
Right.
Okay. But
turn
what
that mic off?
But what are you going to do about everything else down there? Like
Kevin, turn that mic off.
I just
Yeah,
did.
you
Yeah,
did.
I did. What are you going to do about everything else down there? Like you built that really cool walking path, which I think is great.
I use it a lot.
Yeah, but what else are you going to do down there?
There's going to be the community center coming, and then the rest of it just needs to be some deregulation again, so that deregulation, so that businesses can get established downtown and actually draw people into the community.
If you had a place on the Bremerton waterfront the size of the old Myries building, it would rent out in a heartbeat.
Yes.
If you had a place in Paulsbo the size of the old Myries building, it would
But
rent out in a
that's
heartbeat.
not the Port Orchard City Council. That's the owner of that building.
But why does the owner not want to go down there? If it was a business-friendly environment, maybe he would want to be down there.
That is a very valid point.
If he didn't think it was
Yes.
going to take him 19 light years to
Yeah.
get permits so he could do
Valid.
something in that building, maybe he
Do
would
better,
do something.
Port Orchard.
Well, come on, what are they going to do? Open a bakery?
Do better, Patonsu.
I think the best bet is for him to run for Kitsap County Commissioner.
Orrin would beat his ass.
I know, but
Please
then he'd be
Please do.
but then he'd be gone. Then he would cease to be an issue.
Yeah, I know.
He wouldn't run for re-election for mayor.
Yeah, exactly.
He would
I'm
not
saying do
run.
it.
He'd get his ass handed to him by Orrin Root.
Yeah.
Somebody else would be the mayor of Port Orchard, hopefully better.
Yeah.
And then Patonsu could take a 4-year break and then decide what he's going to run for again.
I don't want to. I'm good.
No, but I'm just saying he's going to run. Yeah. He to me, he strikes me as a guy whose only future is in politics at some level. He's like Josh Brown. Used to
Okay.
be. Yeah. You're going to either be
Can we get
elected.
back to the terrorist shit? I'm going
elected
insane right
representative.
now. Come on.
What do you think Tara's going to do when she loses? If she loses his election, like she can't go to nonprofits anymore because clearly she's going to cry.
Well, we're going to get a big write-up on her Facebook page about how she's been the victim of misogyny and racism and sexism and everything else.
Well, she can't say misogyny and sexism because it was a woman that called her a "see you next Tuesday."
Well, I don't think that would
Oh
be
no,
the
they
issue.
call it like internal misogyny. That's what it was. Internal misogyny. Thanks. I am not misogynistic. I will just call a see you next Tuesday. Cunt when I see it. Okay.
This message brought to you by Paul's Bow for All.
Oh boy.
Doubling down. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of the victim mentality that comes out of her mouth every time she opens it.
Why are you tired of the victim mentality?
And again, listen.
Because it's fucking annoying as shit.
So
go back to that. Go back to that text message chain that you read.
Yeah.
That text message chain was nothing but victim mentality.
Yes.
Victim mentality the whole fucking time. You
Don't-
did
it
this.
was-
Oh my God.
Don't
My
run against
mom,
me.
It's your fault.
Don't run against me because I'm a woman. Don't run against me because I need quality time with my mom. Don't run against me. Don't run. Like, stop.
You can, if you want the microphone handy, we will give you the microphone.
Grab the
We
mic.
can't hear you. Grab the
the
mic,
mic.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, Kevin can turn the orange one on.
I will as soon as you have it in your hand.
Tara's,
Now you're on. Go ahead.
Tara is not the only one responsible for that kind of behavior.
Agreed.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
100%.
You know, I have seen other electeds, other candidates do that same sort of thing.
And it's a both sides. It's not just her.
Yeah.
And I will call out every single one
I
of them.
just want to make sure we
Yep.
got that.
I think we
now.
all agree with you on that.
Thank you.
I agree with you.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll be back.
Okay. Can I call somebody out really quick on the north end?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Kevin.
Kevin, nobody is going to stop you
No one's
because we've
stopping
never
you.
been able to, except
earlier-
on the race course.
Remember earlier I said, no, you haven't stopped me. You didn't stop me last time on the race course. I won. I am the reigning and defending champion.
You've won once out of 6 years.
And you've won never.
No.
Okay.
Let it go.
So listen, we said on the show we were not going to talk, that we don't really talk about Greg Nance, right? Because there's nothing really to talk about.
Right.
He's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Right.
But I will tell you that I do wish Greg Nance had a little bit of a spine.
Yeah, stand up.
4 years ago, or 2 years ago, sorry, 2 years ago. Do you remember what Tara did in regards to Greg Nance?
It's tickling at the back of my mind, but I was in Ohio.
She got what was her name? Bryn Felix.
Oh.
And she got Bryn Felix to run against Nance.
That is so messed
She put somebody to run against Nance as
That
a
happens
Democrat.
all the time,
hold
Kevin.
on.
It
But
happens all the time.
I know. But just
Yeah.
here where I'm going. Let me connect the dots. She got a Democrat to run against another Democrat. Bryn ran Greg's name through the mud. He's not progressive enough. He's not liberal enough. Blah, 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 blah. Nance still won.
Good.
And then you fast forward 2 years. Tara then says, well, Dara, you should run against Nance. And then screams and cries that how dare somebody run against him. And now she won. And now it sounds like Nance is backing her. Now I don't know. At least on her endorsements page.
Her friends are claiming that Nance
no.
endorsed her.
Okay. So here's my point.
Nance, what the hell is wrong with
Exactly. She was willing to hang him out to dry to advance her friend Bryn Felix.
Yeah, that is.
Who, by the way, Bryn was on this show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I saw the comment.
And then the minute it comes back around 2 years later, did Nance forget how she acted and what she did and who she tried to get to go up against him and what she tried to do to his seat? And now she's a little mini Führer is what she is. Like, if she didn't do wax treatment, she might have the little mustache.
She has entitlement issues. Nobody is entitled to anything in life. Nothing.
Don't forget her
Life,
semi-white
liberty,
privilege.
The pursuit of happiness, breathing, eating, sleeping. Those are the things we're guaranteed. Everything else in your life, people, is a bonus. And you should be thinking. Okay?
Work.
What are you saying?
Work. Pay
Why are you
taxes.
guys doing that?
Yeah.
I don't understand. What's the work about, Lori? Work?
I was
We are
just
agreeing with that.
echoing
Yes, thank
what
you.
Alicia was talking about.
Yeah.
You got to work for it.
Yeah, you gotta
can't
work.
be entitled to anything.
Right.
You have to work for it.
Well, I think that was probably the first time because we had a good relationship with Tara. And I remember we talked about after that show when she made the comment, I was really taken aback by it. I was like, she just thinks she's a shoo-in up on the north end or in the 23rd. And it struck me as very privileged, that there was this mentality that went along with that. I can do whatever I want. Nobody's going to challenge me here because of my story.
Yep.
And it was disconcerting. And that's what made, at least for me, that's what made me start looking at all of her social media posts about all the trips she was taking. And yes, some of them were for her position in the legislature. I don't disagree with that. But like she got canned from her job and was still taking all of these trips. So like the question then becomes, where does that money come from? You know, we have a good source inside Suquamish Casino who made it very clear that several of the employees up there are very disheartened by her because she berates and belittles, and you know, she feels that she is owed special privileges. Why does she feel that way? Because apparently, and again, this I can't vet this, but this has come from a good source inside the casino, that she's a platinum card holder there, which means she's got to spend a minimum of $18,000 a month in that casino. Where the hell does that kind of money come from? You know, so that lends itself towards all the other discussions, right? Why are you in a luxury box suite taking pictures of yourself and bragging about the fact you're at a $20,000 a game box at the Seahawks game? You're an elected representative. You can't just post that and then say, a friend gave me the seat. What friend? Are they buying something in within the legislature?
Right.
Like I'm not saying that they are,
Yeah.
but you can't just then, because then her next response was to call the show and got pissed at me because she said I thought we were friends. Well, no, I'm doing my I'm fulfilling my responsibilities to the show. We're asking the questions that people are throwing at us, and they're legitimate questions.
So, Paul, I have a question for you.
Oh, for me?
And
yeah, yippee.
regarding the Suquamish, I'll say claim,
Connection.
whatever you want.
Okay,
Connection, sure.
Yeah.
Is it possible, as a representative, that they could have given that platinum card out just because they're a representative?
I would
Like
say
a
that anything is
reputational
possible.
only?
I would say anything's possible.
I'm just asking the question.
I'm going to tell you that
I don't know how they work.
I don't think legally they could.
Okay.
Because that would be an award based on your elected position, which I think.
Oh yeah, that's illegal.
Yeah, I think that would be illegal. So I don't think that they could give it to her because of her elected status. Now they might have another, maybe because of her association with nonprofits, maybe because of that relationship they could have. Because that wouldn't be handled by the same ethics stuff, right? But because of her elected position, that would be unethical to accept. Like again, federally, I know how the Hatch Act works and all of that, and I think the state's got similar rules and requirements.
Just curious.
But maybe because of her nonprofit work and all of that, they might have done that. And listen, the tribes are really tied with the Democrat Party, right? The Democrat Party tends to be a good voice for what's important to the tribes and respecting land rights and treaties and all of that kind of stuff. So it would make sense that they would want to maintain a good relationship with her because she's a Democrat lawmaker, and the tribes are far more closely aligned to the Democrat Party than the Republican Party for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean that all makes sense. I listen. The challenge that Tara has is not
anyone else. It's herself.
The challenge with Tara is not any of these issues in among themselves. Like each of these things are individual blips on a radar. But when you start connecting all these blips together, you go from a couple random clouds to a thunderstorm.
You go from an empty light bright to a full one.
Yeah. And that's the question. And she could totally ask questions.
She could answer questions.
That's what I meant. She could totally answer questions, and she's not. That for me is that's the second most disheartening thing. The first thing is what she said to Paul. I thought we were friends.
Yeah.
Asking you as an elected representative a question about your finances is a logical, reasonable one.
Absolutely.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. The Kitsap Sun doesn't ask those questions. It's frustrating other people aren't asking those questions. But Paul and I think on that show as well, had the balls to come out right and say, where's the money coming from? Where's all this coming from? And her response was not to answer the question, but to challenge our friendship.
Right. Yeah. What?
That is idiotic.
Is that?
That's idiotic. And Tara, listen, I would gladly go out, hang out, you can have a beer. I would have tequila because let's be honest, tequila is the nectar of the gods. I would hang out with you. I'd sit across the table from you.
Disturbed.
I would talk to you. I would shoot the shit with you. We could go bowling. Like I would, because I want to understand what makes you tick, right?
Well, then you'd be going to bowling for dollars.
But yeah, but I'm being serious, right? I want to, the only elected person or person running for office, I wouldn't do that with is Ace Haynes because I'd probably catch a felony. But anybody else, like I would love to sit across a table from Tara and have conversations with her. She's really intelligent. She really is. The problem is that she won't do any of that. She's going to hide behind her door. She's going to block anybody that doesn't agree with her. She's going to let her minions post stuff that's a lie and block public comments. She is so disingenuous.
Shady shit.
And you guys want to blame us. This isn't an us thing.
We're just telling you how it is.
We're not making stuff up, pulling stuff out of our ass. This is line after line after line after line, Excel spreadsheet, 3 pages long of stuff Tara's done. And if you can't see it, I can't lead you to water.
But you can. You could put a bridle on that horse and take it to water. It just may not drink.
They let you do that. You're the horse guy in the group.
You know, I think something really important that needs
Oh,
to be
talk right
said.
into that though, please, Annie.
There you go, dear.
It's been a minute since I've had a microphone, y'all.
It's okay, Annie.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
I think something that's really important that I would like to say here
Yes, please
is
do.
words from one of my very favorite Democrats.
Mhm.
And those words are, the voters have spoken. Because in the end, that's who determines who's sitting in Olympia. That's who's determining who's sitting on city council.
That is true. But
And-
when you have people that are distorting the facts, then they're not getting people the actual information. And that is fucking bullshit.
That's true,
I
but
get
that's
that.
politics.
Yeah.
I
right?
get that, but that's politics,
Yeah.
though.
I do
mean,
understand that.
Yes.
But we are never going to get anything done in this country unless
Amen.
we start working together. And I'm getting so fucking pissed off by this shit.
You know, I mean, I have not been in Democratic leadership for, God, almost 2 years,
2 years
now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Addie. Anyway, I haven't been in
Take your own shots. Go
that's
ahead.
right. I haven't been in Democratic leadership for a couple of years. But I mean, I look now and I'm like, guys, you know, if we're going to spend so much time arguing over this, that, and the other thing, what are we showing the very people that we are trying to reach right now? What are we showing them? Well, apparently we're showing them that we like to fight amongst ourselves. Whether it's Democrats or
Yeah.
Republicans, we like to fight amongst ourselves. So who really at this point are the ones saying, yeah, listen, don't bother voting? You know, I think we're all at fault. And it sickens me because way before I was ever Democrat, Republican, any of that, I was very much a person who said, your voice is your vote and you need to be voting. And if you have any way to go and actually take a look-see at the very people who are running for office and learn about them, and
Yeah.
learn about the positions and learn how your local government works, please do so, because, you know, your participation is what makes this happen.
Yeah.
You know, if you just sit on the sidelines and you're like, hey, oh, well, too bad, so sad.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, that's what we're all going to end up with. And yeah, this,
Well,
yeah.
to your point, because you're 100% right about the voters and the voters speaking.
Mhm.
And I think that's what gets back to an issue we really have run out of time tonight to be able to discuss. But for those that haven't heard about the head of elections in King County and the FOIA request that was done, like people have been complaining in this state on both sides of the aisle about voting. And again,
Right.
it's not the mail-in voting, right? You can fill out your ballot and toss it in a ballot box. It's safe. Nobody's saying that they aren't. The issue is that we don't know how many people's votes are effectively neutralized because we have an unknown number of illegals that are voting. It may be a small number, but it may be a large number. I don't, and again, she acknowledged this in something that we've been saying on this show for years. When you get your driver's license,
The motor voter law.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
are automatically registered to vote. Well, an illegal immigrant can get their license in this state, which is fine. I don't have a problem. I want them to be able to drive and pass their driver's. I got no problem with that.
Right.
But why on God's green earth would lawmakers in Washington State, in Olympia, be saying, well, let's just go ahead and register those people to vote? You know they can't vote.
Can I mention
Yeah,
something else here
please, go
since
ahead.
we're on this? Because at the Kitsap County Auditor's Office,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we all have an opportunity to watch elections processing. You can watch this online. You
Mhm.
can go in person. And I'm actually going to have a moment of thank you, KCRP, for 20 seconds. This may never happen again. But tonight I will thank the Republicans because there's at least 3 of them, 3 men who are in there every
Yep.
election.
They are
They
good.
are there.
Yep, they're good men too.
And they run a really good training program on elections
Chuck
observing.
DaCosta.
I wish we could do something that high. And, you know, I'm sure we can, but the Republicans have these three guys, and every time I tune in, I see one or two or three of them there. They know who I am. I know who they are. And I really commend them for going in and making sure to be there every election.
But Hanny, hold on. I want to back up to something you said a minute ago, because you talked about, the voters have the say, and I completely agree with you, right? Like we're not disputing whether or not Tara Simmons is a state representative of the 23rd district, right? That's not what we're disputing.
Right.
The problem is, I think if you go back to when she got elected the last time till now, there's a pattern of behavior that is questionable, that warrants answers. You know what I mean? That, again, nefarious, maybe not. Issues, maybe not.
Right.
But they warrant answers, and Tara has hand over fist refused to provide any answers, and she's gotten to the point now where, like Beeler said, it just feels like entitlement. Like, I am in this seat. This is my seat. No one has a right to challenge me. Hey, if you're going to run, you better go after Greg, because this district needs me, because I'm a woman.
Go after a man, so it's penis to penis.
But Hanny,
well, that's one way to put it.
Well, then,
we know where Beeler's brain is tonight.
That is exactly where my brain is tonight.
Somebody's a little frustrated.
Hanny, check this out.
Yeah.
We asked Beeler not to make comments and put guests in really awkward spots, and that whole
Thank you.
request
I really
lasted
appreciate
7 days.
Appreciate you put me right there.
She's not an elected official. Come on.
You
It's
just
just a conversation.
You just got the biggest shit-eating grin when you talked about penis to penis out of him. That's all I was saying.
But Hanny,
go ahead. Yeah.
But do you see what I'm getting at? So the question is not, and you're right, the voters will have a say in November.
Right.
And I think, again, the issue is not the questions at this point for me. Like, I think all the questions are valid, and all the questions in themselves are enough to cause people to second check. But the fact that there's no answer, there's no accountability, there's no transparency, instead she walls herself off. That's the rub.
Sure. And I get that. I mean, anybody can get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to find my words. I'm finding my words, y'all. Looking at it from my perspective, I can always go to a candidate. I can always go to an elected, and I can give them my 120% opinion, which pretty much any candidate elected who's a Democrat, maybe a Republican too, can say, oh, Hanny has opinions, and boy, she does not hold back on some of that.
Mm-hmm.
I have had people just in my face screaming at me, and I'm in their face screaming at them. And maybe that's not the best way to handle that. Obviously not. But it happens. We're not always on our best behavior, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, during my tenure as a party official, I mean, I could go up and say whatever I wanted to anyone and just say, I mean, I can anyway. But, as a party official, hey, listen, appreciate you're doing your campaign like this, but, offering some guidance here. Maybe we could try this, we could try that.
Yeah.
And that person has the option to either say, yeah, Hanny, you rock. Okay, gonna give that a shot. Or that person could say, hey, Hanny, get lost. You suck.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, hey, I've heard both. I won't lie. You're either gonna take my advice or you're gonna tell me to F off. Great. That's you. And that's how humans work. And so I can't speak for Tara.
Right. And I'm not asking you to.
No. And God knows you don't want me to. But regardless, Tara is the master of Tara's own destiny.
Sure.
And so whatever Tara chooses to do here in this time, in this instance, that's Tara. That's,
right.
I mean, we can all sit around and say, hey, we would love to hear from you. We would love to just give us some. Okay, I'm going to go back even further. So long ago, I had a PCO, precinct committee officer, Democratic one, come up to me and say, hey, listen, not happy with this guy because he's out endorsing Republicans as a Democrat. And why would he do that? Because aren't we in the business of electing Democrats as Democrats? Well, yeah. Well, Hanny, what can I do? Well, sure. You can go ahead and bring this before the the membership, and we can have a discussion on it, and we do what we're going to do one way or the other. So this indeed happened, and said elected got a sternly worded letter saying, hey, listen, it would be great if maybe you could let the party know why you're endorsing Republicans. Just give us a shot, let us know. And so elected said that they were butt hurt because I didn't defend them. And it wasn't a matter of defending. It's like, hey, listen, if you're out endorsing this candidate, I would love to know why, because if I'm a Democrat talking to other Democrats, talking to registered voters, I would want to know what to tell them, because if they come to me and say, why are you endorsing this person?
Right.
Okay, can we get back to the documents though? Please.
But Hanny, I love you,
just a minute.
and I get what you're saying, but but here's the problem, right?
Yeah.
I think we are at in a like a fundamental weird spot. Like what we're getting out of the 23rd with Tara is so unique from any other race, from any other candidate, from any other person that we've had to deal with in this county, at least since I lived here, and I've been here since '96. Like the level of the number of accusations, the depths of the accusations, the connection with so many other questionable people, the taking of money from a campaign fund and give it to a nonprofit with no credible background or no footprint of doing any activism, all of that, right? And so, like, I get you.
Right.
And I hear everything you're saying. And I think 99 times out of 100, your experience is, and I hope this doesn't come off abrasive.
No.
Your experience is 100% valid.
Right.
But when it comes to this thing with Tara, it is so unique in how dysfunctional it's become and how walled off she's made herself. And that's what bugs me. And it bugs me for two reasons, right? One, we sat and had conversations with her where she told us to our face, I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to answer the questions. We're going to talk about it because that's important. She said on our show, the most important thing she could do was to be transparent about things because she wanted to be honest and truthful.
Right.
And then she fell off the block. The reason why it's so important to me is because there's money floating around in places that doesn't make sense. Paul hasn't even gotten to the IRS records yet and the amount of money that she owes in back taxes. And yet we're asking somebody who has questionable transfers out of her campaign budget and owes a butt ton of money to the IRS. But then
is out of campaign money.
And by the way,
primary.
Yeah, by the way, let me give you that number because you just brought it up. This year,
I haven't looked at it yet, but I can only imagine.
So let me give you she's had $102,005.08 in contributions. Okay. She has spent $103,175.32. She has spent more than she brought in. This is not a woman who I would think could argue that she could get rid of $30,000 to an out-of-state nonprofit when she probably could have used that for her campaign. So where did the money go? Why did the money go? I'm not an idiot. When I hear the text message that she had with Daria, and she's like, well, you should have told me and you should run after somebody else. That tells me that's somebody who thought she wasn't going to be challenged.
That's exactly right.
And she didn't need that $30,000. Yeah. So hold on.
Because she doesn't need to raise money.
Yeah. Back to your question.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not asking you to take sides, right?
No.
I know that you got a lot of relationships on the Democrat side throughout everything, not even Democrat, but all throughout the whole thing.
Kevin, I'm not staying till 11. It's already almost 10.
I know, but can you acknowledge where we're coming from?
No, I fully acknowledge where you're coming from, and I think that as voters in the state of Washington, you have every right to question.
Yes.
If somebody comes up and says, "Hey, I'm Hanny, I'm running for dog catcher," you should be able to question them on what they're bringing to the table and what their platform is and how they are doing. And, it's not an easy task to run for office. Alicia, I know you can say, girl, preach, because Alicia
it's not ever going to be on my radar again in life.
It is.
I don't blame you for that.
It is an uphill battle much of the time.
Yeah.
But
I feel that kindred spirit with Daria because I've been there.
Right. Yeah.
Primary and an incumbent. Yeah.
They're attacking him. They're attacking him as a dad and as a husband.
Yeah, it's
and
fucking bullshit.
It's so awful, man. It's again, I usually ask every candidate this, like, why would you run for office in this in this atmosphere with the personal attacks, like why would you
Right.
do it? Like I would never do it. I've got a whole bunch of skeletons and a whole bunch of exes and a whole bunch of baby mama drama.
Oh, do you? I thought you had none.
Well, it's all gone
Right.
now. I mean, they're all adults now, but somebody would dredge it up.
But it just really behooves the idea that, you know, if you are a registered voter, it's really important to, you know, take a moment, look through the voter guide, ask the questions, attend things like Eggs and Issues or candidate forums, and listen to candidates in getting questions. I mean, I know that you can't always answer something in 2 or 3 minutes, but, you know, just by taking a minute to maybe, you know, do some of that research, you know, you really get to learn things. And if people have questions, you can always find me, Hanny@joesteiner.com.
Perfect.
So,
Hanny, we love you. Thank you.
I love you guys too. Thank you for allowing me to be audience and occasional grabbing the mic and saying something.
No, you're great. Adeline said in there they should be able to run without fear of intimidation. I think we can all agree on
I
that.
agree
right?
with
Like,
that.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You know,
That-
Addie and I don't get along, but I will definitely agree with her on that one.
Perfect. Paul, did you have the IRS stuff in front of you?
Well, it's very little information, but it's on her financial form.
Yeah.
And she lists herself as being in debt to the IRS between $60,000 and $100,000. And she's currently making back payments of $1,000 a month. Listen, there's one thing that I want to make very clear.
Wait, how much a month?
$1,000.
Wow, that's not cheap. That's not cheap change.
So, but the point I was going to make about that is, first of all, that level of debt doesn't come about overnight. It doesn't come about in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, right? That's years worth and penalties. So, you know, when you listen to somebody in office rail about things like, well, we need a 10% tax on all the, you know, the top wage earners. The rich need to pay their fair share. You know, well, so do you. You know, and that to me, like normally I wouldn't look at somebody with an IRS debt and judge in any way, shape, or form. But in this particular case, I will, because again, this is somebody who's out there on the regular.
So many things are adding up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it gets to the next part of this story. For those that don't know, Tara registered a new nonprofit in
what?
Yes, in July of 2025.
In
now think
Washington.
about those dates, right?
Okay.
When she gave the $215,000, right? The to the nonprofit. What was that nonprofit called? Do anybody remember? Anybody? Bueller?
Was it better?
Better Minds.
Yeah, Better Minds, Better Communities.
Here's Tara's signature on her document for the foreign registration statement for the state of Washington. The business entity name, Better Minds, Better Communities. With Tara's wet ink signature right on it. DBA, or doing business as, just Better Together, is all she put on there. And again, she wrote her own information down. I'm not going to post this because it has her private information on it, as far as her address and stuff. Anybody want, and her email address and phone number, all that good stuff. She lists as her governors. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Jovan Jackson.
We heard that somewhere.
John Jackson.
Wait, is this from her? Hold on.
This is from her new nonprofit
Well, hold
she
on.
just filed last
So
year.
hold on. I think I think I understood this document differently. So I just want to be careful. I believe this was the document for the because it's a foreign nonprofit. I think this is in relation to the money that was donated out of state, which is what makes it foreign.
No, this is the one she started.
Oh, this is the one she started here.
Washington
Okay.
Secretary of
yeah.
State Corporations and Charities Division.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, it was filed on the 3rd of July,
Mhm.
which, if I recall, and I may be wrong on this,
Of
Kevin,
this
you
year?
can look it up. No, last year.
Last year. Okay.
Which would have put her filing this shortly after she got back from Vegas, her Vegas trip,
Mm-hmm.
and sending the money to Better Minds, Better Communities in Las Vegas, to the non-existent location on a concrete slab that was surrounded by chain link fence. We have the pictures of that, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But then listed it as the same nonprofit organization here in Washington State, and has her 3 governors as the 3 individuals from Las Vegas, including the doctor that was convicted of having sexual relations with his patients, including the woman who got in trouble for the Medicaid scam or fraud or whatever, however you want to list that, and the other gentleman that is the newest formerly incarcerated person who's elected to the state legislature in Nevada. That's problematic to me, because I put all of this together And I know people say you can't judge her by her past. No, I can. She's an elected official, right? Because it speaks to character. It speaks to decision making. And you start adding that up with things like IRS debts. You start adding that up to things like partnering with convicted felons, sex offenders, doctors that break laws and pass hundreds of thousands of dollars in bad checks, right? And she filed for a nonprofit in this state with the same name as the nonprofit down there. What kind of situation does that create? Anybody? Bueller? It's a pass-through opportunity.
I'm sorry. We slowed down so much. I got to wake back up again.
A nonprofit. What's the benefit if you are going to? So one of the things I learned being married to an accountant for 8 years is that there are a few very easy ways to launder money.
Yep.
Okay. Casinos are one.
Yeah.
Used car dealerships are another.
Laundromats.
Laundromats are probably really good.
Mattress
I wasn't not aware of
stores.
But nonprofits, you do not have to keep, and Kevin, you can talk to this.
Yeah.
Nonprofits, you do not have to account for everything the way you do in a for-profit business.
Right.
The record keeping, the bookkeeping, the accounting is completely different.
Yep.
It is very less stringent. Okay.
Well, and there's one other part to it too, right? When you form your own nonprofit, you also form how that nonprofit pays its officers.
Exactly.
So if I'm not accusing Tara of anything. I'm just speaking.
I'm just saying
I'm just
what it
speaking
looks
as
like.
things work. If I form my own nonprofit and I decide I want to pay myself $1 million a year as the head of this nonprofit,
You sound like the owner of
there's
Goodwill.
there's very little that can be done to me because I formed the nonprofit and it's in the bylaws of the nonprofit.
Right.
All the nonprofit means, folks, it doesn't mean people don't get paid. It doesn't mean that there's not compensation and reimbursement. It means the corporation is designed in such a way that the business does not make money. The business has to break even. But there's also an understanding you have to pay leadership and pay your CEO and pay the people that run the place. So if the pay structure is such that Tara could make herself the head of a nonprofit, and that nonprofit then receives money either in donations or from state funding or state contracts or whatever, and then she's receiving a paycheck from the nonprofit that she's running, it would make logical sense that she could do that. Am I accusing her of impropriety? No, but it is an avenue. And when you're an elected official and you control the purse strings, and you can help to dictate how money comes out of the Olympia budget to where it goes. And now, just like it did when her boyfriend got on a nonprofit and then she helped steer money to that nonprofit for her boyfriend's nonprofit. Like, this is just these are data points that when you add them together, like Paul said,
and look it up if you don't believe us.
Takes a light bright and makes it colorful.
Also, Parker said when Tara filed those documents, Better Minds was in nonprofit revoke status. Look up the EIN for Better Minds, Better Communities. They still haven't filed all their 990 filings.
Right. And she does list on here, by the way, if you want to add some more to that, she lists the home address of the original nonprofit as the same address on Philippi Avenue in Nevada.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And changed the nature of the business.
Oh yeah, because didn't it start out as homeless, and then it went to homeless
education.
and youth, and then it went to education and youth.
Now it's mental health and leadership advocacy.
Yeah.
Now I'm not. Maybe there's nothing funny about that, but again, they're all red flags that pop up.
Yeah.
The information changes all over the place. Like one of the things that I learned in law school when we were talking about white collar crime is one of the biggest ways that white collar crime is committed. And what I'm talking about is like embezzlement, things like that, right? And I'm not saying Tara's doing this, but I'm saying one of the biggest ways that they catch white collar crime is because white collar criminals, one of the things that they do is they go in and with the way that they keep their books and their records, they do it in a way so that it's confusing and misleading so that you can't get to the bottom line, right? Really easy thing to think about is on a cash register. I think we've all worked a cash register, right? At the end of the day, at the end of your shift, if you start noticing a bunch of returns, without receipts, returns that aren't done properly, because then they just chalk it up to, it was just, a mistake on the person running the cash register or whatever. But ways like that are very easy ways to abscond with finances and money, right? And when you start looking at the same name on nonprofits in two different states, one formed after a large donation goes to another one, I don't care what anybody says, I'm looking at a pass-through. I'm looking at somebody who can now take funds from the Nevada Las Vegas nonprofit and easily move them up to the Washington nonprofit.
Yeah.
Why not? What's to stop them?
Right.
Nothing.
Exactly.
And that's why we have a system of checks and balances, and that's why people are asking the questions. There may be nothing untoward to any of it, but it looks very suspect.
Well, but hold on. I know you're talking about moving money from nonprofit to nonprofit.
Yeah, because it's a legitimate issue.
It is a legitimate issue, but here's where my brain went to. Again, I have nothing to back this up. I'm not accused, and this is just what popped into my brain. Is that money went to the nonprofit, and then they can disperse the money however they want to, and then suddenly, is it reasonable to wonder if that money then found its way into Terrace Hip National Bank?
Agreed. That's why I'm saying it's suspect.
But not to another nonprofit. I mean, out of the nonprofit, however they decide to disseminate it, and it goes to Terra. Like, those are the questions that have to be asked. And it would be different. It was like, I gave it to the United Way in Las Vegas, right? You have a footprint. You know what they do. You can see their records. You see them active in the community. You know that they're a viable, like, reputable nonprofit. This one in Nevada is neither reputable nor reliable because they have no footprint. They have nothing. So why did the money go there?
Right.
And now Tara is openly campaigning for contributions for her reelection campaign when she had $30,000 that she thought she didn't need and got rid of.
For all any of us know, she's gotten that $30,000 back, and now it's virtually untraceable. And she can use it to spend it however she wants on her campaign. I'm not saying that's the fact, but it's just these are questions that come to mind. By the way, when you get to Section 7 of the same document, which is about business entities, where a person has to list each business entity and organization or enterprise operated for economic gain, including proprietorship, partnership, yada, 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 with which you or a member of your household is involved as a trustee, beneficiary of a trust, etc. It lists Jackson Roberts Trust. That's the doctor. So again, there seems to be this close-knit group of people who don't have issues breaking not little laws, not speeding, right? $300,000 of bad checks, having sex with a patient, or committing Medicaid fraud.
Giving them herpes.
They're big deals. They're big deals.
The gift that keeps on giving.
These are people that don't have a problem breaking the rules to benefit themselves.
Well, and by the way, I just want to remind you that, Tara has been the recipient of a lot of assistance, right? We already talked earlier about how her seatmate helped get her conviction cleared, which I still think it just feels really dirty to me. Like, other people in your district can't do that. Why do you want to be unique and special? And but remember too, when she had her 23rd LD membership meeting, who defended her at that meeting? Do you remember?
Chad Enright.
Yep. The prosecuting attorney for the kids, for the city, for the county in which you live in, went to bat for you. It's got to be great to be Tara when you've got all these people in high-ranking positions going to bat for you.
Gosh, I wish normal people, everyday people, could get the same kind of treatment.
Well,
Chad Enright doesn't even do shit in that prosecutor's office.
And Chad Enright has his own fucking problems because he decided to use the county's seal.
Oh yeah,
on his advertising campaign.
And look, and if you're an average person, the only time Chad Enright knows your name is when the prosecuting attorney's office is going after you, not defending you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know why Tara's special. I don't know why. And she's got to have naked pictures of people. No, I'm serious. She's got to have naked pictures because she's got people coming out of the woodwork to back her up, even though everything about her is just really so dirty right now. Like, she's got to have dirt on somebody. She has to.
Something has to go.
Again, these are my opinions. These are I'm just extrapolating.
Also.
Yeah. I don't have any facts.
We are a commentary show. Wouldn't want you to mistake us for an actual news show.
I'm not making any accusations. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's so gross. This is the kind of politics that ran Kitsap County 50 years ago.
Yep.
This kind of back alley, making secret deals in the dark, not telling people what's going on, railroading people, burying their good name. That's the kind of stuff that Kitsap County did 50 years ago.
I don't think it's ever really changed.
Well, but it's got to change.
I think it's gotten a little bit better, but I don't think any of that's ever really gone away.
I would have thought it got better, but this stuff with Tara screams it's gotten worse.
Well, I mean, it could be getting worse now. Yeah.
You have an active member of Olympia government helping her get her records expunged. You have the active Kitsap County prosecuting attorney
agreed.
defending her at a membership meeting.
Yeah.
Hey, Chad, look. Hey, listen, the next time I get a speeding ticket, will you come and help defend me for free at the court for my speeding ticket? Please. I mean, you're going to
did it for her.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it just screams party Paul. And again, one thing Hanny said, it's both sides, right? Democrats do it, Republicans do it. I totally agree. And if I had instances of Republicans doing it to this level, to this volume, we'd be talking about that too. But we don't.
Republicans can't do anything in this state.
No, they cannot.
I mean,
Well, I will tell you, and again, there's more to this because I have the letter that Tara wrote on the update and invitation for the 23rd LD Dems meeting. And, you know, I'm not going to go over the whole thing. There are some interesting points in it. But she makes some interesting points that I want to give credit for. She writes in here about how Chet Enright has written a letter to the 23rd LD from the treasurer. I'm not sure what she meant by that, Abbott Taylor. But
Abbott Taylor is her minister.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, that's not what I meant. I was just saying I didn't understand what she meant by her verbiage there. So she points out here that the LEB complaint will be dismissed as I was communicating with Daria in my role as a former friend and not using any state resources. Well, that's easy. And that's true. I was not even in the state of Washington. And like she said, she was going to spend time with her mom. And she was using her personal cell phone. Okay, those were all true. I was offended that as my friend and without any complaints about my work performance, he was planning to run against me without ever talking to me. Again, it goes back to the victimhood mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You know, it just, I mean, I hope people keep this all within context. And if they're fine with these things, then fine, vote for her. I don't have an issue with that. People vote their conscience and they should vote their conscience. And I you know, again, there's so much data here. There's so much that we could go over. But you know, I don't see much need to keep beating a dead horse, pardon the pun.
No, we're not calling her a horse.
No,
either.
I'm not.
No.
Yeah.
But I do want to say one thing to that, though, that she's dishonest about, that there have been no complaints about my job performance or whatever. There's been so many complaints about her job performance the last couple of years, ethics complaints and concerns about all of that. So again, I just want to put that into consideration. Here's to go with what you said, Paul. We're not. I don't think. I mean, we're a team. We'll figure this out. I can be outvoted, but I don't think we keep coming back to this every week. I mean, I think after this week we're going to leave it alone or let it go.
Well, let it marinate.
And then we're
Like
going to
a
wait,
good
and then we're going to wait and see what else new comes out of it. Like just beating this drum on the same old stuff is not going to be productive for this show. It's not going to be productive for the movement up north. It's not going to do any good. But we're certainly going to keep an eye on it and watch what happens. She has an open ethics investigation. That's going to drop at some point. And when that does drop, we're certainly sure as hell going to talk about it.
Well, I can say with no trepidation that there are multiple ethics complaints coming down the pipe. And you know what? When you conduct yourself in a certain way, you're inviting those things. That's really all I can say. And everybody that runs for office understands that there are certain things and certain ways to conduct themselves, certain documents that have to be filed, and that falls on everybody, no matter what side. I mean, I've watched people in Kitsap County. I've watched Republicans file ethics complaints against Republicans and vice versa and all that kind of stuff. And I don't listen. All I can say to that is that I do have faith in the Washington State Ethics Board. If there's an ethics complaint made, I have faith that they're going to conduct themselves, you know, legitimately. They seem to be very open about the process. I watched the whole process with Tara. I may not have agreed with their ultimate assessment about her, but it's like the Supreme Court. I don't always agree with everything they come up with, but I'm not paid to sit there, you know? So, you know, I give them the breath to do what they have to do.
Okay. I do want to respond to one other comment that we can do party and shots. Get ready to get out of here. Unless you guys have got more stuff you want to throw out. Beeler, you're looking at me like you got something you want to say. Do you want to say something?
No.
What
For the
was
first time,
that?
she's like, no.
That was the quietest I have
So
ever heard you
passive.
in my
That's
life.
That was strange.
That was a meek little no.
That was really strange, Alicia.
I want to read this really
Yeah.
quick. So Jean, whom I love, she's amazing. She said, I mean, the scrutiny over Tara, it's fair, but Daryl, we don't bat an eye. I love Kitsap. So here's the deal.
Well,
with
we
Daryl.
batted an eye about
We
Daryl.
did, yeah.
We did talk about that, and we talked about his exoneration as well.
Here's the deal with Daryl. I know there's a lot of people out there that want to say that that this is a cover up and the Bremerton Police Department is covering for him and it's all blah, 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 blah. Look, unless you've got something credible to show us that says that there's a cover up, it's kind of pointless at this point. He hasn't been charged. BPD has cleared him. They've said they forwarded information to the actual name that's related to the IP address. It's in a different state that actually did what Daryl had been accused of. Until we get something new, I'm not going to drop Daryl Doggs' name in a negative way about those accusations because it's pointless and it's fruitless and it's unfair. We live in a society where you can make an accusation and screw somebody's life.
Yeah.
And I am not going to do that to Daryl. As far as I'm concerned, Daryl's been cleared by the BPD. And until something else comes out of that tells me otherwise, Daryl didn't do it. Daryl's innocent until we get something that says otherwise. And literally anybody who's saying otherwise is kind of a piece of shit. Because now you're making accusations about something you know absolutely nothing about. You're basing it off of hearsay evidence from two guys that went out in front of his house and obviously couldn't do an IP backtrace.
That's not how that worked.
Well, but all I'm saying is...
I know, I just want to be clear,
Yeah.
though. That's not how that worked.
Well, no, but all I'm saying is we're going off the word of two people that has now been disproven by law enforcement. And I think if we continue to dogpile on them, I just think it's a crappy thing to do. And I'm not going to do it. And if we get new evidence, I'll be the first one to drag his name back out on the show, but I'm not going to do it until then. And I don't think anybody else should either until something new comes out. If you believe that BPD is that crooked, then we got bigger fish to fry. I mean, we have way bigger fish to fry. But that's what I've got. Beeler, you sure you don't have anything else you want to say? You were very passive in that note.
She seems like she's got something
Listen.
she's sitting on.
No, I'm not sitting on anything.
She's
Really
saying she's
not.
got to work early in the morning. She's got to go.
No, I didn't actually.
She
tell
said she was
Kevin I
willing to
could
stay late tonight. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I was going full bore with you guys and then hit a fucking rock wall when we stopped talking about it.
But we're
Now
talking
I
about
can't
it
wake
now.
up again. I'm ready for bed. So let's
Wake-
get the hell out of
wake
here.
up, Beeler.
No, let's go. I'm done.
Beeler.
Done. No.
Okay. Lori, do you have any parting shots you want to make? Oh, Lori has some. Here we go. Hold on. Let me unmute your mic. As soon as you're set. Oh, you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Hi,
I'm
Lori.
ready. Hello. Parting shots. Guess what, kids? Time to get voting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
time to
primary
get
ballots are out.
You do not
We don't
trust mailing, then drive to your auditor's office and drop them off.
Yeah, but in all honesty, a Dropbox is going to be just fine.
Yeah, a Dropbox should be fine.
Dropbox will be
but
fine.
Personally, I like to go there night of, drop it off, watch, just be that person. But I came from King County, so
Which apparently has its own issues,
it has a lot of issues.
just like the rest of the state.
But before you vote, please do not just use the voter's guide. Please check out different platforms that you can on YouTube. Check out their websites for the candidates. Check out what they've said in the news. If they're an incumbent, check out their voting record. Figure
Seriously.
it out. Do your homework. Do 5-6 hours of homework, and then you can complain later or you can jump for joy.
Yeah.
That just triggered something with me. My daughter researched everybody she voted for. I was so proud of her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Democracy in action.
Absolutely.
All right. That's all I got. Oh, and watch out for motorcyclists.
Yeah. I'm going to say this really quick before we go back to parting shots. So that the shooting in Seattle took place at the fountain out in front of the Space Needle. I'm not excusing this or anything, but I think it's disingenuous to connect it to Seattle yet.
Okay.
Because that fountain is in front of the Space Needle, not inside the
Okay.
facilities.
Yeah.
It could very easily be street violence.
Yeah.
It could very easily be a number of other things that have nothing with the bite and nothing about a targeted thing. So let's wait till more information comes in before we start talking about the shooting at the bite of Seattle.
Yeah.
That if you know that part of Seattle, there's a roundabout right in front of the Space Needle where people drive in, drop people off, and drive out. It's not in the complex. So just be patient, wait for stuff to come in. Tom, do you have parting show? Actually, Henry, did you have anything you want to say? Hold on. Let me know when you're ready. I'll unmute your mic.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
I'm ready now. Something we've always said, when you get ready to vote, you make a plan, vote, get your ballot, vote. Part of that making a plan to vote is certainly investigating all of those names on your ballot, and it's so important that your voice is your vote. And and if you'd like a tour of the auditor's office and check and see how voting happens, I'm here. Find me.
Okay. Thanks, Hannah. We love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
I would love to be in there when they're counting the votes, but we always do an election night show, so I can't do it. But that'd be a lot of fun to watch.
I can't wait to commentary my first election night.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
So good.
It's intense.
Yeah,
you're gonna enjoy it.
It's gonna be so good. Tom, parting shots, my friend. Wait, well, let me guess. Isn't deregulation great?
No, it's grand.
Grand.
Yes, grand. But no, that's not where I was going. This whole drama thing. I hate this is what politics has kind of come to, and
we shouldn't have to defend ourselves.
No,
for interviewing a candidate.
No. And for free speech,
or telling them we'll see him next Tuesday.
I know.
Yeah, and for anything else, right? That's just kind of the state of party politics right now, and I want people to be really, really aware of that. Right? It's not. I mean, both parties do this. Both parties play their games behind the scenes. And they want to gerrymander district lines just as much as they want to gerrymander candidates. And when you vote, I want you to pay attention to that stuff, right? If there's a lot of games and drama around your candidate, ask yourself why, and try to read between the lines and look for the facts. Incumbents, look at their voting records. New candidates, the only thing you can do is go talk to them because they don't have a voting record. But if they're worth half their salt, they'll talk to you. Just make time to do it.
Fair enough. Really quickly, I am going to say this because I like the idea of what it'll do to some people. But we have people inside the 23rd LD leadership that kick us info, and I do want to just let you guys know. So the edited video clip that was uploaded online.
Yeah.
And again, this is from somebody inside leadership at the 23rd. So you guys do with that what you will. That edited clip was uploaded by Carolyn Zimmers. She's on the executive board of the 23rd. She's also the chair of the individual and leader of Paul's Vote for All. So that edited clip was uploaded by her.
Wow.
So just keep that in mind. Again,
it just keeps getting worse.
And by the way, I just want you to know this is coming from people inside 23rd leadership. Not even people in the 23rd leadership are willing to go public about it, but they're going to send us stuff and screenshots.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Kevin, can you tell me where on the swaffle that Tara hurt you?
You know what? She touched him there. The downside is, and this isn't about Tara specifically, the downside is, though, I need my waffle to be touched. Beeler, do you have any parting shots? My waffle's been very neglected lately.
I thought that was a twat waffle all this time.
No, mine is no longer, so we're good to go.
Beeler, I wasn't going to bring that up on the air. Okay, Beeler, do you have any parting shots?
I do not. I just want to say, I hope everyone that came really hard at us and came at Daria learned something tonight. Don't mess with our integrity. It's not like I didn't say cunt because I wanted to do that. It popped out. I grew up with all boys. Get off my back, okay? Jeez. That is it. That's my parting shot. Be better. Be better, Tara. Because we're better together.
I love it when Beeler says everybody who came really hard. And I went to the 12-year-old boy brain. Go ahead, Paul. Actually, she's just snorted in the microphone too.
I'm speechless.
Go ahead, Paul.
Sitting between the two of you tonight, it's like being in a shooting gallery.
No, you know what's great?
No,
here's what's great.
I thought I was giving my final
You can,
thoughts.
but here's what's great.
Dude loves to hear himself talk.
But here's what's great. There are moments where, yes, Lori, there are moments when it takes a little bit of motivation for me to research some of the stuff on the show, because I feel like in a lot of ways, different candidates, same story, different issue, different people, same issue, right? Like we've been railing about taxes and all of that stuff for so long, it just becomes, let's take one elected name out and put another one in. And some days I'm just a little tired of the regiment, right?
Right.
Nope. Not anymore.
Yeah.
I am so alive tonight with this whole thing. I'm so offended by the fact that we got drug into this as some kind of right-wing hate thing.
Can we consider this your final thought?
No, because I actually have a real final thought. So I want people to know, and the other thing I want people to know is that we got people in leadership in both parties that feed us stuff. We got people that come to us on the backside and give us information. We probably are the last bastions of journalism in this county, because the Kitsap Sun certainly isn't doing it. And we're not really journalists. We're like opinionators, but we got people giving us stuff. So we're going to continue to mess with you guys. We're going to continue to get the truth out there. We're going to continue to bury people's candidacies. We're going to continue to be loud. We're going to continue to be problem children. And either you want to be a part of this and speak your mind and be honest about it, or you want to hide.
Right.
And if you hide, we'll know.
But every party pretty much is represented within this cast. So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. If you got anything else to add, now's the time to do it.
I'll do my parting shot in a second, Paul.
All right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're.
I love you, Paul.
So there are two issues.
I said I love you.
Yeah,
Paul.
I heard you.
You have to say it back.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, look.
That is your best friend. You tell him you love him right now.
I am giving my final thoughts.
Oh, look,
and
she's even giving you the glare too.
Dude, Amber's gonna beat your ass.
She's even mad that you're not telling me you love me. Paul, I love you.
Remember, I almost died yesterday, dude. Please don't leave this day without telling him.
Okay, hold on. You're right. I love you. I also love my dog. I also love Amber. I love this show. Listen.
So he's comparing his love for me with his love for you. That's what I got out of it.
Okay, there you go.
And the dog. Okay.
I love the optimism, Kevin.
So
the difference is he's seen one of us naked. And you. Okay, go ahead, Paul.
The dog doesn't wear clothes. There are two issues that I have personally been focusing on the last month or so on my social media accounts. One is the final admittance, because I'm big on the voter rights issue. And in Washington State, we need to get the registering to vote of illegal immigrants under control. And we need to figure out how to stop it. Don't know how much of it is going on. There's no evidence to that yet. And maybe there never will be. But that's something that needs to stop, because every single illegal who votes basically takes away the vote of a U.S. citizen, whatever they vote for. So that's number one, right? The other is that, I'm just going to say it. When you look at Islam, it does not marry with Western values and culture. I know people will think you're Islamophobe or whatever. No, they just don't. They don't mesh. And I'm about to give you a good example why. In the city of Hamtramck, Michigan, the city's council just voted to allow ritual animal sacrifice to be practiced by the residents. This is the first time in about 1,600 years, by the way, that in Western civilization,
Where was this?
Michigan.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Since basically the Roman Empire outlawed animal sacrifice, and Western civilization hasn't seen legalized animal sacrifice since then. But in this town in Michigan, they've done it. And it just so happens that their city council is exclusively Muslim, and they made the decision to benefit the city's Muslim residents. And it's just another example of how when you dig really deep into Islam, and believe me, I could spend 3-hour show in a diatribe going over this stuff, but it just doesn't mesh. Right? I mean, you've got places, for people that don't know this, you've got places in Europe, even in Germany, where you, as a white person, and in England too, you'll get told if you go to walk into a particular neighborhood that it's a Sharia law controlled neighborhood, and police even avoid it. Like, these are legitimate issues, and I don't want people to forget, especially as we're coming up on the anniversary of 9/11, which will be interesting considering now the mayor of New York City has been asked not to attend the 9/11 memorial. So, we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Are you done?
I'm fine.
Are you okay?
I haven't been sleeping good this week.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you. You just look like you sacked out over there.
I almost did.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll keep you awake. I promise.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay. Go ahead, Kevin.
Really quickly, the latest on the shooting at the Seattle Center. It looks like 2 people are killed and multiple injured, including a 2-year-old that was taken to Harborview at about 6:30 tonight. Multiple shots fired. Again, just from the limited info, it sounds like it was at that roundabout fountain out in front of the Space Needle. But they haven't released a lot of information about how it happened and how it transpired. So, as I said earlier, I would just chill before you make any determinations or make any assumptions about what it was.
Well, and we don't have any information.
Something's going to come out tomorrow.
So,
and I'm sure Katie Wilson's office will find a way to screw it up. But there's that.
You talk about a complete clusterfuck. That poor lady is definitely proving herself to be unworthy of the job.
It feels like she's in way over her head.
Right.
I was just going to say that. I mean, yeah.
My parting shots, I just have a couple, right? The first parting shot is I just really want to thank the people that stepped out on some of the public forums supporting the show.
That was awesome.
I think I loved seeing people from both parties come out and stick up for the show and what we do. I think the people that think we have an agenda are the ones that haven't listened.
Right.
Unless you're Holly, and then you're Holly. So again, I just want to thank the people that are loyal to the show. We don't have a huge following, but we have a very loyal following, which I'm really appreciative of. And I love you guys.
6,200 registered listeners.
Yeah, well, we had more than 15,000 views on last week's show.
Yeah.
If you'd like to sponsor, by the way, please send me a message.
Yes, send me the message.
Yeah.
I'm handling the sponsorships.
Yeah,
I would route them to you. So that's the first thing. Just thanks to everybody who supported the show, shared the show, talked about the show, stuck up for us. I appreciate you guys, and I love you for it. The other thing I'm going to say is this: there will come a point where we hit a tipping point in this state. And that tipping point will say we've been taxed enough or we haven't.
Yeah.
The cost of living is too high or it isn't. And we want people who are accountable or we don't. And this situation with Tara is the situation with Tara, but it brings up a larger question for both parties. When is the tax burden enough? When is our representation effective? And when are we getting from the people in office that we put into office? When are we getting what we expect from them?
Yeah, we don't want corruption. I can tell you that.
And so we've really ripped on Tara hard tonight, and we'll continue to do so if new information comes up. But the question you have to ask for everybody you're voting for is, are you getting the results that you demanded that you want? I'm hard pressed to believe, as people look at the cost of living, the cost of a gallon of gas, the effects of inflation, all of that, right? I would be curious how many people would look at that and go, this is totally working for me. That doesn't mean to cross lines and vote for a different party, but it does mean it's time to start considering different candidates within your parties if the ones that are there are not doing their jobs. So I'm not making this partisan at all. It's a question that Republicans and Democrats both have to ask.
Yeah.
And this thing with Tara is just an example of that, because they have a very interesting decision to make. It is not Republican versus Democrat. It is Democrat versus different brand of Democrat. And you've got somebody who's been in office for a couple terms now, and you get to ask yourself that question. Does Tara do what we wanted her to do when we put her in there? Is she an accurate representation of our community? Is she meeting the needs of what we want our representative to be? If she is, you vote for her again. If she's not, you don't. You have and it's, I'm going to love watching the returns come in August on the primary, because if they're close.
Well, I promise you, they're both making it through.
Well, yeah, because but as I said on the show last week when Daria was here, if they're close, two things are going to happen. It's going to give instant buoyancy to his campaign, and it's going to put Tara Simmons in meltdown mode, because she's already in meltdown mode now. And if she comes out of that primary and they're close, she does not, up to me, appear to be able to self-regulate very well.
No.
And if they're close, it's good. And it should, because she's an incumbent, scare the crap out of her.
You know what? If Emily Randall's watching tonight, hi, Emily Randall. I saw you stalking my Facebook page.
She did too. Yeah.
Emily stalked your Facebook page?
Yeah.
Sure did. I sent you a screenshot.
Oh, that's right. I saw it. All right. We're going to take a break. Sorry, not take a break. We're going to wrap the show. Listen, I want to remind you guys to support our sponsors. Destination Highway 420 on Hollis Street in Bremerton. Stop in and see them for a wide selection of
some of us got to get home before the monsters come
flour
out.
and edibles and sodas and ice cream.
Don't forget your distillates.
Distillates. I don't even know what distillates are, Tom.
Are you mad at me just because I wouldn't tell Kevin I loved him?
Yeah, she's pissed at you.
Tired, dude. Go.
She loves me more than she loves you. We also want to thank Evergreen Grace. If you need commercial, residential, do you do cars? Probably not. Okay.
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. Commercial, residential, reach out to Evergreen Grace on Facebook. Tom, over here at Black Ring Spirits, the home of the show every Sunday. Thank you, Tom. We love you and your alcohol.
Oh, thank you. I love you guys too.
Well, I love it. You don't ever drink it.
You're an amazing dude. Kitsap Great Escape, the only escape room in Silverdale, the best escape room in Kitsap County. Stop in and see them. 4 rooms to choose from. Visit them at kitsapgreatescape.com. Admin a la carte. All that background stuff you need on your website to make it work good. It's admin-a-la-carte.com. Anybody I'm forgetting? Oh, Kitsap Paintball.
Yeah.
Your little twat waffle friend.
Maybe.
That's my top of
Maybe you're a masochist and you want to shoot yourself in the balls, Paul. Stop by Kitsap Paintball Park and
you're twisted.
And have fun. You can find them on Facebook. That'll wrap up the show. We love you. We'll see you next Sunday. Maybe. Probably.
Unless the FCC kicks us off.
FCC can kiss my ass.
Call the FCC, please.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Have fun with that.
Deregulation grand.
See ya.
Yeah.
Can you forget?